Well, hello, everyone, and guess what? We are here for episode 19 of season 2 of Mushoku Tensei, and we are here with the grand return of Jarkey Bacon.
Yeah, it's me. I'm back at it again. I saw that, Ari's community post actually got upvotes. I was like, I guess I've got to come back. Yeah, because the other ones don't do that well, so that was weird. Didn't realize that. So I'm back.
Wait, how many upvotes do you get?
Like 10. It's crazy.
Yep, everyone's
You
excited
think
for
if
Bacon.
I went missing for 2 weeks, EliteAri, they would get 10 upvotes? For
Yeah,
me to
out
come
of just
back?
joy for you not being there, yeah, maybe.
No. You didn't even introduce me.
Oh yeah, sorry, yes, guys, this is Kyle Entertainment, who, I guess, also, by the way, these two, if you're here for the first time, they don't know anything. They're watching for the first time, and I've read the light novel, so go ahead, Kyle, say something.
I know like a million spoilers, and EliteAri's very mad.
Yep, and you're not going to spoil Bacon on anything.
Did you know about Spoilergate?
I did not know about Spoilergate. I have not kept
Miller
up
the
with
Killer
anything.
spoiled me by making fun of some tweets that he thought were funny. He's never seen Mushoku Tensei in his life. He was posting them in the Discord server, and then EliteAri was freaking out. Deleted before you saw him. It was a big drama.
I didn't see them.
That's good. All right.
What was it big? Okay, I did. Okay, well, I mean, there's a couple of things I do remember. Ari made the poem, and I remember one line in it, which did spoil me.
I don't think Kyle knows that yet, so don't spoil that. That was not something he was.
Wait, yeah. What's the context for this? What did Ari do?
So
Ari made a short video about Mushoku Tensei, which was very sweet and lovely. And I don't know why. I can't remember if Ari told me that that you that it had spoilers, or I watched it knowing it was spoilers, or I was just really dumb, or. Yeah, I don't know why, but I got to a point and I saw one spoiler that I was like, oh, I actually didn't want to know that, and I just stopped. But
here you are, still.
Okay, yeah, I think I remember this now. Yeah, I think I remember you saying this all the way back in season 3 times. Now we're on season 4 here. That's another classic bit we do here, Bacon. Because get it, this is like the fourth core.
Anyway, Bacon.
Oh, I see.
Bacon. Yeah. Everyone right now is on the edge of their seats to know what you thought about the first. I don't know how many episodes it is now, but a ridiculous amount. 6 episodes, something like that. What did you think?
Don't talk about this one, Bacon. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, so there's 7 episodes. This is the 7th one. That makes sense because I woke up. I got out of bed about 11. I was like, okay, I've got 3 hours to watch 6 episodes. That makes sense. But then it went on longer. And then I was confused. Yeah. So I also watched as much as I could in the dub. Initially, it was cringe, but then I got into it. I was like, yeah, okay. Dub supremacy reigns once again, because I do think I watched some of Mushoku Tensei's first core in dub. So I mean, switching back and forth like crazy. All right. What can I say? Okay, I need to congeal my thoughts.
Want me to give a recap?
Tensei? No. I remember. Yeah, so I was going to start. Basically, I didn't actually start. I did a Kyle and didn't watch this until I actually really had to. And so I'm not sure if that's a good indication of what happened. But then, sometimes Mushoku Tensei, it just hits. You just get into it, and I'm just like, dude, I just need to dust off the cobwebs, get back into it, and it's the easiest show. It's such an easy show to watch for me, actually. Apart from some points, I did have to. There was one point where I just started dying inside of cringe when it was I can talk about any previous episodes, right? Where what was it? Rudy just went into the classroom and started being Big Brother and just assumed a load of stuff. And I was like, oh no, I was like, this is so cringe. I hate that. There's no 2 times speed here.
Yeah.
But I was dying of secondhand embarrassment. What else? Initially I was like, I was like, man, this is going fast. I mean, I was like, how old is he? And then I think maybe it was in this episode or the episode before.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, I'm 16. I'm like, oh my word. This is going, they are settling down. I mean, I guess this is the ye olden times, and they're, settling down. He's on his family arc. He's going big. And then you're like, oh man, there may be issues having kids because she's got the elf DNA or whatever. But then I forgot about the gray rat DNA. And that stuff hits hard.
Yeah.
And so I guess, that was crazy. I mean, how long? That's another thing. It's hard to tell how much time at the moment is passing because before, in previous seasons, you'd be able to tell by at least intuitively how big Rudius is. But now it feels like his growth is physically, it's mostly plateaued.
Yep.
Or seems quite similar. So it's I don't think much time is going on. Yeah. I think, okay, so the first episode was them getting the house. The second episode was them having a marriage. Those two were probably the least easy to get through because it felt
boring. They were boring.
No, I don't want to say they were boring. It's just like, whoa, wow, we're going quickly here. But then I was like also getting up to speed because I kind of forgot where we were at a little bit from the previous season. But once we got into it, we got we got a letter from Paul. And then I saw the hand of Rigid, and I was popping off. I was like, he wasn't in the OP because the OP's visuals are fantastic. The song not as good as Cool One of season 3.
God, Ari opinion, yuck.
Yep, true.
No, it's so good. I love the visuals. I'm just like not sure about this song. It's not quite the banger, but yeah, I saw Rigid's hand. I was popping off. I was like, yeah, let's go and see him. It is like you kind of forget how much time has passed, and and then you see Rigid, and he's hanging out. He's brought the 2 sister daughters, which I'm like, yeah, you both were annoying previously. Let's hope something gets salvaged here. And what can I say? They got salvaged. That was pretty good. Aisha, she like bought those curtains by saying
that was adorable.
I don't want to. What was it like she'll use Rudius's name but won't use his money, which I think is hilarious. So there you go. And then the whole Aisha stuff was really good, I thought. I was like, man, they're doing parallel stuff. And I mean, of course, they're being like super explicit. With Norn, sorry. What did I call her?
You said Aisha twice, my goodness.
I said Aisha twice, oops. Yeah. I will say though, how old are they?
9 or 10.
Okay. I thought they were around about 6 for some reason. I was like, that's a bit weird.
That would have been like last
9 or 10, that makes sense. Yes. Okay. Wow, yeah, that's crazy. Stuff has happened. Lots of time goes. But yeah, the whole Norn stuff, that was good. I like that.
I'm glad to hear, because obviously, I have a Norn video, and I love Norn a lot, so I really like that episode. I guess you don't really know much about what we thought, but yeah, that was a good episode. Stand out this season for me.
I think initially I was like, I mean, it's very on the nose. I did always like it almost made me want to go back, see him go back and apologize to his older brother. That was quite good. I do like it when they go back and when you get his previous life fleshed out more. And I also initially wasn't sure how I felt about how Norn basically fixed it all herself so quickly, and it was kind of quick. But I do like that she did it, and it wasn't like Rudius that really did anything, which and it's weird because it's not often you go outside of Rudy's perspective and know more than he knows. But it was kind of like, oh, I don't know why this happened, but it happened, and I was like, yeah, fair, that's cool. Also, what's her name? Nanahoshi. That was a great animated sequence where she just goes absolutely insane. That was great.
Yep, I agree. Hell yeah.
I was like,
that was like.
I think I was watching the dub, and the dub voice acting in that scene was good. I liked it. And I mean, this is another thing. It feel like the pace keeps up, and in my head, I'm like, yeah, this is all right. But they do solve a lot of issues pretty quickly.
Yeah. I completely agree. I guess. Oh yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
plastic bottle was the greatest thing of all time. Everyone's like, "Oh my word!" And I'm just like, "Oh, this is." I can't believe they're bringing back plastic waste. It's such a good icon of modern civilization. Plastic.
I was gonna die.
Yeah. Okay. I think I got most things. I didn't take any notes.
I have one more thing, Bacon. What about Turning Point 3 as a concept? Did you get excited at all? Did you even know it was a turning point?
Wait, does Bacon even remember what Turning Point 1 and 2 are?
Yeah, true.
Okay, I'll be honest. I feel like I definitely want to go back and watch the Turning Point 2 because that's the big fight scene that everybody loves.
It is.
And for me, it didn't hit at all. I was like, oh okay. I just didn't clock anything in it. From what I remember, I just remember, but I remember a lot of people talking about it. And then I watched. I think I remember your explanation on it, or something like that. I was like, oh yeah, I should have clocked that. Rigid having issues is massive. Anyway, Turning Point 3. Yes, so I did watch the first minute where Kyle's making fun of you for calling it Turning Point 2 or something. And then I was like, okay, Turning Point 3 is coming. Okay, I'm kind of hyped. And then I was trying to theorize as I was watching this. Okay, so they're getting these layers of teleportation things. Maybe something's going to go wrong, and then that's going to be the Turning Point 3. I was trying to guess what it was, and it's just oh, come help! And then the man god appears.
It was disappointing as fuck. It was mid. It was terrible. True, Jarkey.
But can we go into this episode?
Sure, go ahead. Yep.
But we're back on the peak Mushoku Tensei grind, where we're exploring the world and we're doing random stuff. And it's got cool music. It's got it ends on a city with the dragon bones. I'm glad Mushoku Tensei slows down and does like character development stuff, which is cool. But my initial draw of the series, what I really liked about it, was definitely the exploration aspect and like the cool soundtrack and just seeing them go along. And then so that was good fun. So at the initial turning point, I was like, I was definitely like, huh? I definitely understand why it's called turning point. But hey, we're now on adventure now time, baby.
Yep.
And I also keep on forgetting what Eliza's curse, like the details of it was. I don't know what Cliff does to help it. And
let me explain that right now.
Chastity belt.
Indeed, yeah. And Kai was laughing at it and talking about how it's not feminism, anti-feminism or something, and he's had this whole arc has been going on. I'm sure we'll talk about it in this discussion. We'll not. Let's not.
Sorry, I feel like I'm dominating the conversation.
Oh Jesus! Well, that's the point. We want to know all your thoughts. But yeah, this curse thing, right? Elinalise, if she doesn't sleep with people, she like. I think it's pretty. I don't know if the anime said it. She'll die basically. I think she'll suffer great consequences. So yeah, she has to sleep with people pretty regularly.
Oh, yeah. EliteAri, I just figured it out. Now, Paul gave her that goddamn curse because he wanted to fuck somebody all the time, and that's why she hates him.
Oh, all right, we'll see.
Oh.
No, it's probably just that he was going to marry Elinalise, and then Zenith hopped up and she was way younger and hotter, and he married her anyway. But it would be way sicker if it was Paul's fault, because Paul was trying to do magic for horny, kinky shit, because he's a bad person, EliteAri, and that's what happened.
Very interesting theory.
Maybe it's because Paul wanted kids, and he didn't think his DNA was strong enough to beat the elf DNA. But we do know that is very possible, considering that Sophie is the granddaughter of Elinalise.
Yeah, crazy twist, my goodness. Now, Jarkey Bacon said that twice now, EliteAri, but I was assuming that Sophie would have trouble birthing, not conceiving.
No, it was the conceiving. Right? Conceiving was difficult. Yeah, okay. I think we even brought this up last time. You said the same thing. So take that.
No, that's not possible. Also, how does that make any sense? Didn't they say something about her hips being small or something?
Did they, or did you say that? Now you think the show said? Maybe they did. I don't remember.
Well, that's got to do with birthing and shit, right?
Yeah,
I don't know. Anyway, do we try to catch Jarkey Bacon up on all our bits now, or
maybe? Okay, no, we just hit them when I hit them and explain them at the time. But what I will say, the Elinalise curse is maybe the most Mushoku dumb thing. Initially, I'm waiting for it to win me over. But I'm trying to. What does Cliff do though? Like, is he just that handsome?
Or something? What does he do?
Well, what do you mean in terms of what? Like, why did Elinalise choose him, or what is he doing with the curse, or what do you mean?
Yeah, well, what's he doing with the curse to make her?
Well, we don't know. This is one of those things where it's like he's doing. I don't know. He's working on curses, like obscure, abstract. Doesn't matter what he's doing exactly. He's making a thing and it's helping her. That's like the gist of it, the takeaway here. And I honestly,
she needs sex like every month, otherwise she's gonna die.
Exactly. So
maybe she can't have sex with the same guy.
Well, if you think, I'm trying to think what details I even know at this point. I think
has it ever been said that she can't have sex with just one guy?
I thought it was.
Because I was assuming she was just having sex with him, and that's how
she just has to have sex. Doesn't have to be like with multiple people or anything, but she has to have a lot of sex basically. And it has to happen.
So one guy just won't cut it, so that's why she's getting, and she can't have a normal relationship. That's probably what they said.
Yeah. Now he's just like working on a magical implement that will like help her out. And we have heard of magical implements in this world before. I'm trying to think I guess my go-to example was going to be Fitz's sunglasses, but I don't remember if that ended up being a magical implement or if it was like a big theory that I had formed in my mind and it wasn't actually true. But it's I guess Luke's boots and stuff. But these aren't mentioned. No, that's not even a magical implement. I mean, like, for instance, in the light novel, they talk about how Luke Greyrat, who Rudy aspires to see, which was so sick, he is wearing these boots that make him run, like, really fast, for instance. They're like equipable items in, like, a video game or something. Like, they do.
Wait, don't they say Nanahoshi is making a bunch of these or something?
Oh, I guess Nanahoshi has her rings. I don't know if they're magical implements. Maybe they are. There's, like, multiple names for different types of things.
Oh, I forgot she didn't have mana, right?
Yeah, she doesn't have mana. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because she got teleported,
and she
in the second or the first? In the first mass teleportation, right? But
in Turning Point 1, she was found by Orsted in the center of the teleportation incident. So yeah.
Yes.
That's crazy, bro.
Okay. Well.
Well, I guess we should just say that I've been saying that the season was lame and boring and the worst part so far, Bacon. So that's why people were mad at me.
Mm-hmm.
I did like that silly Norn episode, And then I was shitting on it big time last week, kinda. But that's just because I said that there was just going to be a letter with Paul saying, "Come and help." Now it wasn't Paul; it was Geese. EliteAri likes to say, but he's a little pussy.
What about this episode, Kyle?
Yeah, true.
Well, are we up to that yet, EliteAri? Oh my goodness.
Okay, wait, no, let me say my overall thoughts. Believe it or not, Bacon, I like this a lot. Right? I think the Norn episode is one of the best of the show, especially this season. It's been really good. My only issue, as I always said, and I'm sure you're well aware from our last season discussion or last cour, the production is nowhere near season 1. I think the directing of the Norn episode was like especially good compared to all the others this season. But generally, I'm like, production not that good.
EliteAri, I had a realization the other day.
Go ahead.
But this is exactly what's going to happen with Chainsaw Man, and you're going to be so heartbroken.
Probably, yeah.
Oh, wait, they're doing a movie, remember, EliteAri? I always forget.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It's going to look great because they put attention to it and stuff. It's going to be great. Anyway, now,
God damn it.
Overall thoughts for this episode, guys. So go ahead. Who wants to go first? I don't know. Kyle wanted to say something.
I will.
Yeah, go ahead, Kyle.
Jarkey Bacon was saying that he just loves traveling and stuff, and the whole last episode, I was like complaining that Turning Point 3 was bad, and then I was like, ugh. And now we're doing fucking boring traveling shit for the next 3 episodes before we get there. And then not only are we not doing that and we're already there at the end of this episode, but the traveling was good. This was insane, EliteAri. I can't believe it was good.
Wow.
Now this wasn't some all-time episode. It was just pretty fun. But I didn't think it was shit. So that's pretty good.
Wow, that's fantastic. Yeah. All right. Wait, let me
there was something
Wait, I want to cut in and say that despite the fact that Kyle, you said this was very quick, I guess, this episode is half of volume 11. So it would be the equivalent of like...
Oh, I saw a comment about this, EliteAri.
Interesting. Well, yeah, they're right. It would be like the equivalent of the past 3 episodes, basically, all in one episode. Like, you get a long time spending it with Elinalise and Rudy together, and you get a lot of characterization, a lot of, like, small details, so this was incredibly rushed compared to what was in the original. So to me, I guess...
hopping mad right
now. No, I think they did a good job of capturing, the high-level details, but to me, this is kind of like the same thing that they did to Volume 7, where it's like, just emotionally, I think there's not as much investment as there was in the light novel, like anywhere near as much as there is in this. Anywhere near as much in the Elinalise and Rudy relationship, basically. But I like this episode
just
still.
Volume 7 and expect us to know what.
Oh, sorry, the beginning of this season when Rudy is alone with Sarah and like all that sad.
Oh
stuff.
My god, that's what I thought it was. You don't have to say that. I'm just so smart and in tune.
Yeah, but overall it was still great. But Bacon, you were saying something.
How long is the audiobook?
I think it's 7 hours of volume on average.
Oh my, good grief.
Yeah, so this
what were you doing while you're listening to it?
I think I was back when I was first reading it. I was playing games, I think, and listening at the background.
Can you really pay attention?
Yeah, definitely. And if you don't, you just rewind. I guess.
Video, I can do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I tried that when I was doing the Game of Thrones audiobook meme stuff at the beginning, but I couldn't do it. So I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, I listen to podcasts all the time. I do wonder if I guess, could you actually read it yourself? Like is there translation?
I'm sure there's like PDFs and stuff, but EliteAri doesn't read books. He always says. He says even if we do Game of Thrones, he's going to listen to the audiobook. So he's lame.
You can buy a book of it.
I mean, I do know if I read stuff, I definitely read faster than an audiobook would listen. I probably listen on 2 times speed for
that is true. And I read slow as fuck, and that's still true.
But I do miss a lot. Like if I get in, there's a weird like thing of like when I get into a book, I'll miss details, so it makes the book less fun. I won't understand stuff as much. So if it gets into a combat situation, I may not be into it. May not be able to keep the details. But
the story is very simply written. You can understand it without. There's not much like crazy language or anything, and ideas are pretty simple and everything. I think you wouldn't have any issues.
Yeah. No, I mean, I definitely down to actually give a longer term thing a read. And I do like the sound of like. Actually, because there's a couple of things where it's like I felt a little bit of nostalgia. It's like, oh, it's Elinalise going on a trip with Rudy, but I don't think I would have felt that nearly as much if I didn't talk to you, Ari, about it.
Sure.
And you'd be like, oh, they spent all this time together. Like, there's something nostalgic there. It's like, oh, we're back on the road, gang's back, but it's not the real gang because the real gang was season 1. Yeah, and then I mean, it was good. I mean, it made me like. Maybe I should just not. This should be the only episode I turn up for this. Just wait for the best season and I'll watch all of 1 because that's how Mushoku Tensei is better. Because you get to the end of the episode, I love binging. Binging so much better. When something's good, you binge it.
I also agree. If it were up to me, I probably would honestly binge this show. It would be great. I mean, that's how I watched season 1.
But we're getting millions of dollars from these videos.
That is true. Everyone listening right now, they're like, "Don't do that. You need to talk about every episode."
So that they can fill their hole of needing more Mushoku Tensei content because they're not able to get it all at once because they're binging, not binging.
True.
There you go.
Yeah, so true.
That is what they said last week when we were a week late because of Bacon, and there was a 2-week gap. So they were happy with us for satiating their Mushoku Tensei needs. Now, EliteAri, a Crunchyroll comment told me it's 2 weeks again.
Is it? Really? I don't think so.
I don't know.
I mean, maybe it is, and I just missed it, but I didn't hear anything about it. But maybe there is another week delay. Who knows?
The next time I go on a monologue, you better look it up. Now, EliteAri, you can't do it now because this monologue's at you. Yeah. I was scrolling through my anime list looking for me and EliteAri's next thing we're going to watch on our stupid thingies we do. You know, those things we do. And I remember EliteAri saying, this Jarkey Bacon, Mushoku Tensei has a manga, it's crazy. But EliteAri says it's terrible and trash and nobody should watch it. But I'm scrolling through and I'm like 70-something on the top 100 manga on Mal. And it's like 78 to EliteAri with like an 8 out of 10. So maybe it's not so bad.
I mean, I haven't read it, so I can't actually judge it. Just from what I've heard, it's much more comedy focused. So maybe you would like it more, Kyle. But for me, who enjoys the actual characters and world and everything, and I don't think it's for me. So yeah.
Okay.
Maybe is so close to being very, very snobbish. Not snobbish there.
True.
About it, like, well, yeah, maybe if you want your funny fun ha-has. But here, I'm a big boy. I got my character development.
No. You just don't know how much Kyle has talked about, how much he loves comedy and our Chainsaw Man discussions. That's all he likes in anything, apparently.
Chainsaw Man, we know that to be true.
Black
Lagoon's hilarious.
Yeah, apparently, yeah. Anyway,
go ahead. Maybe I should just watch the videos to get your Black Lagoon season 2 opinions. I'll get there. I have to get to the 4-hour other video first. But
you thought the same thing basically. It was terrible.
That's not true.
It's kind of true. Anyway, what are we up to, EliteAri?
All right. Well, I mean, just the recap now. I think we all gave. Wait, Bacon. I guess you didn't give your summarized like overall thoughts just for this episode. No, you did. You said it was like actually.
I did.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, recap. All right. Yeah. So, this episode is split into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different parts. Okay, mainly. So the first of those parts is telling people where Rudy is going, basically. He's like catching everyone up because he made his decision last episode when Dawn was crying and he's like, oh my God, I can make a difference. Let me go. So,
that soy scene that I hated.
Yeah, the best scene of last episode. It was fantastic. And then Rudy, so basically he's talking to Elinalise about going to Bagarit and she decides to go with him and he's grateful.
They had a map, EliteAri, like us last time.
Yeah, that was actually, I think, as far as I'm aware, this is the first in-anime map that we've actually seen. Because if this existed before and I just didn't see it in our second watch through, that's crazy, but it was really cool. It had the
whole map last time. EliteAri edited it in, he animated it. It was crazy.
Well,
crazy.
Yeah, I did. But yeah, we see 2 maps this time. We see a map of going from the northern territories or whatever, where Renoa is, all the way down to Bagarit, which is like a continent, which is split off the main land, basically. And then we also saw another close-up map, which, it is very dangerous,
True, the man God said, EliteAri, you shouldn't go there.
Oh yeah, he did say that.
And it's the second most dangerous after the demon continent.
Indeed it is, yes. Crazy maps. What's next then? Turns out the journey is going to be 8 months each.
You can say a show of maps. Know what that means, EliteAri?
I don't get your joke, no.
Minor attracted persons.
Oh, okay, very funny, very
pedophile
funny.
show.
Yep, all right.
Okay, I did not know that term. I thought you were making a map joke somehow.
Yeah, that would have... Yeah. Jesus. Anyway, journey 8 months, crazy. Were you guys like, oh my God, it's going to be away for 2 years? Or did you see through this? You were like, well, he'll shorten this.
No, I didn't see through it, EliteAri, but I'm not going to spoil how much I soyed out, and that means good stuff this time, EliteAri. When we get to you'll not believe it.
Yep. Anyway. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I was like, it was one of those things where I'm just like, okay, well, it's too happy at the moment. Story tells me there's more story to be told. Therefore, he's got to give up the happiness to do something else. And then he was like, I guess he's talking about the previous. He talks to the man god, who I'm always popping off when the man god turns up. I'm like, oh, what's he gonna say this time? Then he's like, if you go, you're gonna regret it, but I can't tell you why.
Yep.
But he's also kind of like not telling him that he'll also regret not going, which then Rudy finds out. But then he's also like, if you stay, you should do what I do this and bang on the annoying furry girls. So something like that.
Yes.
High five. So well done, Rudius. I was like, yeah, he's chatting it out, and then he gets like super horny, and then for the succubus, and then
yes,
that was a funny scene when Elinalise was like talking back to him. It was like, oh, what was it? What was the quote? She said,
"Let's get dirty."
Yeah, let's get dirty. That was it. That was pretty funny. Yep. Okay, I was like, okay, I'm finally warming up to Elinalise.
What a relationship they have.
We're not going to talk about that scene yet, EliteAri.
Yes, okay. All right. Okay, back to this. 8 months, crazy.
Quit jumping ahead, Bacon.
Then Rudy.
Sorry.
Jeez, it's okay, Bacon.
I'm out of practice.
Yeah, Rudy is talking to Nanahoshi, telling her he's going to be gone for 2 years.
Oh my god, we're already here.
And initially, she is quite disturbed by the news, but then she shares the notes she has on teleportation circles. And it turns out it's going to reduce it.
You're going ahead way too fast. EliteAri, she jumped up, and I was like, oh, this is going to be sick. And then she didn't say anything, and she just saw it out, and I was like, oh, Mushoku Tensei never has a good scene in its life. Could have done something interesting. It sucks. And then she revealed that she has transportation books, and that was the sickest thing ever, EliteAri.
Did you think she was going to
do it?
Flying on
so
a
now he doesn't have to take like the whole thingy, but it also doubles because it's also helping her out, and that's why she did it, and that's crazy, and that leads some characterization. A little selfish girl, but also was she just trying to help? Does she love her new life now? And she didn't seem too depressed that she has to spend 2 years. Because we saw that she was starting to make friends or something one episode, I think. So, oh my goodness, it was all tying in. And, you know, sometimes EliteAri in life, you're like, man, this is going to suck. And then something just happens and makes it suck a lot less, like taking it down from 8 to 1 month. And you're just like, oh my god, this feels like that moment. And Mushoku Tensei is being descriptive again, and it doesn't do that very often. Remember Norn? And I was just like, oh my god. I did really like the scene, but I'm not explaining it. I feel like there's something I'm forgetting that I liked about it, EliteAri. What was so great about it?
Well, you described the descriptively real thing.
That was pretty cool.
I guess there's probably a bit of implied storytelling here. And I think they mentioned this briefly in a previous episode, which is like, how does Nanahoshi have these maps of the world? And I guess it's implied, or maybe even explicitly said in the anime, that when her and Orsted were traveling around the world, they would use these teleportation circles to go quickly around different places.
Yeah.
So that was kind of interesting.
Oh, I didn't get that. Yeah. She just mentioned her old master again. Is that Orsted?
Did she mention? I don't even remember.
What did she say? They're being vague about the old master. I don't know if she said that in this episode.
Yeah, last episode she mentioned like, what did she even say? Something like, oh, that guy. She was like,
I have to look to him for advice or something.
Yeah, that's like ambiguous. Yeah, we don't know who she's talking about.
But I feel like it's got to be Orsted.
Yeah, it might be. Yeah. It might not be.
Good one, Ari.
Yeah, we'll see. Crazy. We love teleportation. I know every time
there was like a little animation thing or something that made it good, EliteAri. I can't remember.
Kyle, I'd have no idea. This is a thing for you to figure out.
You tried to skip over her jumping up. Like, that was just nothing to mention. So, what do you know?
Very true. I guess there was the little thing of how Rudy arrived unexpected. She's like, oh, this isn't our usual time, which was like kind of cute. I like that. I don't know if that's what you're talking about.
So Kyle, is Nanahoshi now your favorite, not Aisha?
Ooh.
No, oh my god, Jarkey Bacon, you're so genius. Now this doesn't bring up the point, but this is something else I was thinking about while I was watching. Because last time EliteAri, because you know when we get in our little petty fights, he gets mad and he says, "You don't even like any Mushoku Tensei characters," and I always go, I like Eris, you lying little piece of shit. And then he's like, no, you don't. You just like her because she's a tsundere and blah, 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 blah. And then I'm like, shut up, EliteAri, you loser. But then I was thinking today, maybe I do like Nanahoshi the best. She's pretty cool. She's, Bacon. We also got in a massive fight in like episode 3 because I said Isekai was terrible and it was inherently bad and everything about this is stupid. And they're expecting me to care more about his stupid fake video game family than his real family where he's got to go apologize to his brother, Bacon. You mentioned that. That was sick. And we got in a massive fight about how it was all terrible.
Because Kyle was an idiot. Yeah, this is the dumbest point Kyle has ever made. But yeah, anyway,
Bacon agrees with me. He's just not saying it.
What Isekai?
He was saying he wishes Mushoku Tensei wasn't an isekai because it would be better that way. Because then he'd be in having real stakes with real characters or something. I'm like, geez.
Well, this is true because it would be far less generic.
Oh my god! Yeah, I guess.
True.
Hey, I got it. But, I was thinking I had to call it generic at the start, and I forgot to say it. So, yeah.
We'll
Carl, that's a dumb opinion. Carl, this wouldn't work as well if it was an isekai.
Absolutely.
It'd just be a pedo show.
Oh my god, Bacon white knighting in the comments. He's read them all. He just wants to be loved. Oh my goodness. But
Carl, no, this would just be the kiddie fiddler show if it didn't have the isekai side.
Wait, it wouldn't be a kiddie fiddler show if it was not an isekai because he'd be a kid. Anyway.
No, it should be like what you'd be like. Oh. No, I'd be definitely. I don't know. There's like a sense that it's like if Rudy was exactly the same, and then he was a kid, then I feel like it would just be even more weirdly. I don't know, more perverted because like
Isidro's a little perverted little boy. I guess people think that's a little weird.
Yeah, well, okay. Berserk is a bit problematic in some ways. So
True. I'm gonna make a video about that one day. I'm gonna make even the Berserk people mad. It's gonna be so good.
But
anyway.
Also, we've had more hot stuff for Vinland Saga recently, so I'm not gonna sling mud.
Oh my god! Did Bug Eyes fuck his 16-year-old queen? Oh my god! Maybe that's what Bacon's referring to. This will be crazy.
Either way, okay.
Haven't read the chapters yet. Oh no, EliteAri. We're still talking about this thing for a second. Right. To steelman my great argument, because I just remembered it. My whole point was that Mushoku Tensei should be about him going back to the real world at the end, and this is all an allegory for him learning how to live a good life, and then he can actually go and live a good life in the real world, which is the first fake anime world, you know, where there's little anime people in what looks like our real world, besides the fake anime world where there's like video games and stuff in it, you know.
Yeah, what it should be, the teleportation back should be that he wakes up and it was all a dream.
True, and then he's got to learn to be better. But that's not what they're going to do. But Nanahoshi wants to do that. She's great. She's trying to go back. So she's the only real person. Obviously, Rudius is a little idiot. He wants to live in his fake world. And his escapism is bad. You got to face your real life problems. And he's got to lose some weight and stop jerking off to Lolly and find a real life girl. But that's not what's going to happen. And so maybe Nanahoshi my favorite.
Yeah, and maybe if he gets on one of those dating apps, he can pay a little bit of money to maybe try and find his own
True.
Sophie.
Hinge Gold? No, that's Hinge Gold. Hinge Plus? I can't remember these goddamn things anymore. But continue on, EliteAri.
Okay, so teleportation. Nanahoshi is doing stuff. And then at the end, she tells Rudy to keep things quiet because the teleportation circles are forbidden by the governments and they will destroy any that they find. So that's to be a big secret. And also, I guess I don't know how you didn't mention this, Kyle, but Kyle has been bringing up teleportation for like 3 episodes now. He keeps bringing it up. He's like, oh, are there teleportation circles? And I keep being like, no, they're out.
Oh, I keep saying how stupid it is that it's going to take them 8 months to get there. Why can't they just fly or something? This world's got magic.
Yep.
And I guess that was a payoff, but I didn't think of that, EliteAri. Sorry.
Yep. Well done. Anyway.
This is like This is like in the open world. You go, like your open world video game. It's got the same kind of structure where now they've unlocked the teleportation,
the
fast travel system.
I do have to say, when I first read this, I did think that as well. I'm like, God damn it, we spent like a whole 3 volumes or 4 volumes or whatever traveling in season 1, like in the first half of that season was just traveling. And now it's being relegated to like, we're just teleporting then. I'm like, God damn it. But then the light novel saves it because it's like you spend so much time still traveling and you get so many like little details and stuff. So I don't know.
So, EliteAri, I saw a Crunchyroll comment that said, oh, I didn't know how they were going to fit all this into the last 6 episodes, but I get it. We're just going to teleport. So I was assuming they didn't teleport at all in the manga or the shittier version, the light novel. But I guess they just did do it too.
They did indeed.
Oh my god, lying Crunchyroll comment, piece of shit. But I guess they were probably referring to them cutting out a lot of the traveling stuff or speeding it up.
Yep. I mean, I don't know how much was cut out, honestly. I remember there was a whole storyline with them, like I think they were escorting like a group of people to go somewhere, or maybe they were being escorted. I remember there was like a fight with people. More time.
I bet that horse boy has a bunch of characterization and a name and stuff in this shitty light novel, but we just.
And then it explains why that one horse is so massive.
No, there was
that
no
horse was
explanation
roided out.
That was insane. Dude, yeah, I don't know why they did that, but that was pretty sick. I guess he's carrying all their travel stuff and
because he has to fit 2 people on it.
Yeah.
Very true. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we're not there yet. Okay, so Rudy then tells his family.
Bacon.
He tells his family that he's leaving, so Sylphie's very understanding. And then Rudy tells her that he's going to shorten the journey by using teleportation circles. And Sylphie starts worrying about whether it's safe. And then Rudy promises that he's going to come back. So, yep. And then Rudy...
He's not coming back.
Interesting. Is that what you think?
Well, no.
Now...
I mean, when was the last time Rudy just kept his promise?
True. But also... These are one of the moments where Bacon's presence is limiting our discussion because I have spoiler-influenced thoughts I want to discuss, but we can't do it.
Nope, we can't.
I see.
Bacon, if you use your really strong inferencing power, you could figure out a spoiler.
Don't do it, Bacon.
Do it, Bacon.
No.
Because I think I would absolutely have exactly what Bacon is. Oh, I guess I'm spoiling that how Bacon said it didn't happen. If I didn't have knowledge, I would think I'd be just with Bacon. I think, but
interesting.
Now I know that it's a little bit different.
I think you need to. I don't. You think you place too much stock in your spoilers you think you've seen.
No, it's so fun, EliteAri.
All right. Anyway, Rudy triggers a flag. He says he wants to pick a name for the baby before he leaves, and then all the 3 others who are from this world, they're like, "Oh my god, if you name a baby before you leave, you won't come back." And yeah, and then he Aisha has a interesting proposal, which is that if Rudy gets back in time for the baby to be born, then he can name the baby. Otherwise, they'll name it Rudius Jr. And this made me like question, like, what if it's a girl? Like, can you just
awful
like...
name. Or okay, factually awful name. And also, they're still naming it before it's around. I don't get like what was going on there. I was like, what is this logic? And
well, no, I think the logic. I think naming it before he gets there makes sense, right? Because it's like he could be there. Well, he's thinking he's going to be there for 2 years, and it'll be like a whole year of the baby without a name if they don't name it before that, right?
Yeah, but then they still made a name for it. They're like, we can't name the baby before it's born, and then we go name the baby before it's born.
Yeah. I think it's just a superstition about getting attached, right?
I think it's the fact that Rudy can't say that as he's leaving. Because it's like, that's the superstition. The fact that he's
like, oh, well, then you're definitely going to die thing. Like, yeah.
That's understandable. I think that's cool. But anyway, I just thought. And then you call it Rudius Jr. It's like, well, of course he's not coming back if you're calling him Rudius Jr. Oh, jeez. This is painful.
True, definitely makes it seem like he's going to die, bro. But he's probably not. But,
I guess we'll see.
What's the female equivalent of Rudius? Rubius?
Rudia?
That's Hagrid. What the fuck?
Oh, Jesus, it is.
Hagrid? What?
Wait, what?
Yeah, Rubius
Hagrid is his name, right?
Oh, I see.
Wait, Bacon, what did you say? You had some names?
I was going to say Rudia. Like Rudius is
that kind of
typically many, so Rudia would be female.
Yep.
If it's going off Latin logic.
Rudy is actually a good name. What the fuck?
Okay. Anyway, I'm curious what you guys thought about this. So Rudy and Sylphie, they kiss in front of the siblings, and the siblings are like fangirling and blushing at this honest display of love, basically. What do you guys think of this scene?
I saw a bunch of Crunchyroll comments saying it was the greatest thing ever. So that means I hate it.
Interesting. Okay. I'm just asking because I could imagine this being like controversial. Like people like this or not, or think it's like too soy and too not, and I don't know, a bunch of stuff. Go ahead, Bacon.
Okay. On one hand, I'm just kind of finally glad that like, oh wait, I can actually see the romance after the romance happens. You know, like.
But they've done
like
it so
many stories.
Boring, Bacon. Boring.
That's not true.
That's probably why they don't write these things in general.
Yeah, that's what I was
love
thinking.
is actually. It's like, oh, you want all the drama before it happens, and they say I love you, and then the curtain's closed, and they confess, and it's like, no, can we just actually see? Yeah, no.
Rudy just left the fucking spoon on the table, and we gotta have a goddamn argument about it.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think it is a bit like they are. Anyway, it's weird. Like, I guess he's 16, and how old is Sylphie?
Probably
15.
16 as well, I would guess.
They are pretty mature for 16. That's one thing I was like, dude, this is crazy.
In their world, like 15 is adulthood, like unironically. Like Paul had Rudy when he was 19, I think.
No. I mean, it's just like for their maturity levels in terms of being like,
oh, sure.
These are superhuman. Like, have you ever met a 16-year-old and relationship with as little drama as this? You know, like, oh yeah, I'm going to buy a house, raise a family. Like, okay,
he's also
if I watch someone out, if I see someone on the street, 2 young people that look like they're 16 with a baby carriage, I have questions, right? In the UK, you know, I'm looking at that, I'm just like, yeah. And most of the time, if I'm going to be very judgmental, I'm going to be like, yeah, they shouldn't have had that kid, probably. But anyway, more power to them. The kid's around, so keep them going. So do your best. Anyway, that's one thing I would say. Like, yeah, be understanding, you know. Like, that would make sense if they're like 20 or something, but this is like 16 and stuff. At the same
I know of a lot of 20-year-olds, I feel like it's just a slightly different problem.
Yeah, I mean, but like it's just more believable. Like, yeah, not that I'm really anyway, there's not really that much of a grudge. But I will say it is interesting. It's nice to see like as far as like stories go, it's nice to see actual romance being explored after they're like got the confession done and actually exploring it. Feels like pretty genuine. It makes me wonder about the author. Like, do we know much about the author?
I don't know much about him. I honestly don't even think there is that much about him, but he does tweet a lot. I know that. He has a Twitter. It's active. I don't know much about him though. I also don't know if he has like a public, like, I don't know if there's photos of him. Maybe, I'm sure there probably is, but I don't know.
Do you even know if it's a him?
I know it's a him, yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know anything beyond that really.
Yeah.
What were you going to say,
I do think if you know something about the author's life, you can then be like, okay. I mean, if this guy is like, say he's like 35, he's married and he's got 2 kids of his own, I'm just like, okay, that's interesting, you know? But then again, it could also be the Rent-A-Girlfriend mangaka who also like 40 and has a wife.
I guess I looked it up.
Yeah.
Kids. And then he gets clowned on for that.
I'm looking it up, EliteAri, you pussy.
He's 39 years old. There you go. That's the one thing I can find out about him.
He's from Gifu, Japan.
All right. Cool. Thanks, Kyle.
Is he married, or is he also like? Is this just his wish?
He's also got a fake name, right? This isn't his real name.
Okay.
Yeah. This
it's
is
like a Rinjafu. Shut up.
Anyway.
Okay. Well, I'm just wondering if this is like his manifesto on how he can get him out of neatdom. You know?
I truly don't know anything about the intentions of this story. Like the actual author. Like, all I know is that in later web novel chapters, when I was reading through it, like the translations, there were like author notes, I think. But they might have just been like translation notes now that I think about it. So I don't know.
His wiki page is like nothing. So it's like his influences. So obviously he said like, I like Final Fantasy one time.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I'm sure people in the comments could let us know way more than I ever could. So go ahead, guys.
Oh my god, did you know, EliteAri, that he's got one anime credit on his Wikipedia and it's just supervising Turning Point Part 2? That's crazy.
That's pretty sick.
Wait, no, that's not even Turning Point Part 2.
Oh
It's
my god.
It's episode 23, which is not Turning Point Part 2, right?
That was also a really good episode, but yeah, true. All right. Anyway, back to this. Okay, enough tangents here.
There's a video game, my goodness.
Yep. Rudy tells everyone that he's leaving, except for Batagati, who he hasn't seen since his interaction with Rudyard, or when they like argued with each other. Yeah, so I wonder what he's doing right now. And then so he.
Oh, that was so cool. That was okay. That's like my anime soy scene. I'm just like, here we go. That's the anime trope I love. I'm just like, oh yeah, the boys are back in town. I mean, okay, if you haven't told yet, Rudy's my goat. And the fact that he's not anymore is a big L. But means every moment with him is even more. Yeah. But
it's
yeah,
like
it's like they'll
these
stare
two
off.
people with a lot of history in the demon continent, maybe fighting on opposite sides, maybe fighting on the same side, who knows? And they have a lot of history. It was an interesting standoff there.
Yeah.
All right.
I also like it when he's about to leave and he's like, I'll just come in for breakfast. And Richard's like, yeah, maybe I should come in for breakfast. And then it's sweet. There you go.
Very cute.
Oh my god, Ari had a great little thingy about how Rudy was actually mad at Rudy the whole time or something, Bacon. It was cool.
Yeah, well, in the light novel, to give a little bit of context, I guess there's a whole impression that Rudyard was kind of expecting Eris to be here, and the fact that Eris isn't here kind of makes him feel a bit off, where it's like...
He's married to some other bitch!
Yeah, it's all implied. Like, you don't really know what Rudyard is thinking, because this is all told from, like, Rudy's perspective, but Rudius himself is kind of thinking, like, oh, is Rudyard, it was a bit, like, distant, and we don't really know what's happening, but maybe he's always like that, he always seems to be like that, anyway.
Well, Ari, you phrased it like he heard Rudy was married, so he was excited that him and Eris finally got married, and then he showed up and it was some other bitch.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, okay, that is kind of cool, but I also like the reframing of like the Norn episode where it's like from her perspective, it's like, oh, he's come home drunk with some other woman.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I love that.
Yeah. I was like, I didn't actually really think about that, but yeah, it's like, well, she's just interpreted everything negatively and stuff. But yeah.
Japanese sexism, EliteAri. Unbelievable.
No. All right. Rudy asks Vice Principal Genius, who we've seen a few times now, he asks him for leave and he gives him leave. And he gets permission for 2 books to take with him. And one of them is about teleportation, and another one is about the Bagarit continent. So good old Genius, who didn't show up to his wedding because he was busy that one time. So we don't like him anymore.
Somebody's going to get a cut on them and they're going to get poisoned. And we're only going to be able to save them because Rudy's going to look up in his Baragat book, the antidote, and it's going to be sand. And he's going to put sand in the cut. And that's how that's going to be relevant later on.
Yeah, perhaps. Or maybe it won't be relevant.
No. Carl, you got this all wrong. His cloak would just help protect from the poison because his cloak that he's got now on is.
Oh my god, that sounds vaguely familiar, Ari. Is that true?
You mean the fashionable one where he like went to the tailor and it was like from the demon continent?
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. I don't know.
It was made out of rat hair and he's called Grey Rat.
Yeah. I guess we'll have to see if the coat comes up and has any details, but yeah, it was kind of interesting.
Well, then he's gonna get there's nothing equivalent to poison that's basically the same but gets around this silly little thing Bacon brought up. Anyway, the book's going to be to melt the ice that Zenith's trapped in because the OP spoiled it, Bacon. You see that?
Yeah, no, I was a bit sad because I was like, oh, Ridgew's back. And I was like, oh, he's not in the OP, so he'll be gone quickly. I was like, no. But I'm looking forward to the pool reunification.
The Roxy one's the important one. Who cares about Paul?
It's true. It has been like, 10 years, since they saw each other. Crazy.
Oh, that is crazy, actually, now you think about it. Yeah.
Remember when they nearly saw each other, but Roxy like ran off or something because Ruja was scary? That was crazy.
Mm-hmm. This is back in season 1, Bacon, long time ago.
Yeah, see, okay, this is why I wish I could like binge all of it at once, because then I'd be like, oh, I remember Roxy, but like now it's been like too long. I'm gonna say she had the autism episode, which was great, but like I actually really didn't like any of the episodes she was in at the start. Not because of her, just because it's just like I was like,
it was the beginning.
That's when I didn't trust MT at all, and then it became less generic, to use that term, as we went on. Thank goodness. Good grief. But it's still a bit sus. But I'm like, it's less sus now. It's okay. But definitely has some moments. It's also like the fact that Aisha becomes his maid. I'm just like, okay.
Very
and then it has like an insert scene of her like scrubbing his back while he's having a bath.
Well, I don't think that's
we can't get away from this.
No. I will absolutely defend that. I don't think there's an issue with that. With like it, like it's. I don't think there's anything wrong with that in that situation. Like having someone help you scrub your back or whatever. I mean, I could see it if it was portrayed in a different way. But I don't think that was at all the intention, any issue there.
Okay. If it is it depends how you look at it. If it is your maid who is underage scrubbing your back, that's the issue. If it's your little sister scrubbing your back, that's okay.
Yeah, I would say that was
Japan, I'm still sus of that. Because this is still Japan, okay?
Well, it's
this is the thing, right?
Yeah.
It is like everything. Oh my word! It is crazy. Like even like Miyazaki can't get away with it. Like you're watching like I watched Castle in the Sky, and it just has like a scene of like the main protagonist girl who's like Miyazaki, chef, having strong independent.
Bacon's gonna say.
Not really. It's just like all these like 40-year-old men are like
swooning
wanting
over
to get a piece of this like 14-year-old girl. I'm just like, what is this? I'm just like,
for them. Some of that Japanese sex.
No, exactly. I was like, good grief.
Oh, make it EliteAri, eat it, pussy.
Bacon doesn't know what he's saying. All right, Bacon, you don't know what the argument you're stepping into whenever you bring Japanese sexism up. All right, I just have to say, last episode.
Japanese nonsense.
Okay, what was I saying? Oh no, the Bacon. So I completely agree with the Aisha thing. I think it's one of the most problematic things Mushoku Tensei does. However, it is, at least in the light novel, it is self-aware. Like Rudy talks about how this is like Lilia has groomed Aisha in a bad way, and this is not what his little sister should be like. And I'm sure we'll get more about this later on, but this isn't one of those cases where it's like
talking about grooming her. Oh my goodness!
I mean, he has talked about grooming in the past. When he had sex with Sylphie, he was like introspecting about it. So yeah, I agree. I think this Aisha thing is problematic. But I think it's a good storytelling.
And to back Ari, your point, in the anime, he did allow to get the curtains, which were against what her mother would have liked her to do. So but then there's also another scene with a little slave girl. He was like saying it's like Rudy has corrected her for not calling him master or something. I was like,
no. She's trying to learn English, so he's trying to correct her English. Because
can you just not have a different line? Like, do they not like think these things through? It's like the amount of like defending you have to do. Ari,
did you watch this in the dub or did you watch this in the sub?
Actually, I did watch it in the dub.
All right, well there you go.
I did watch that in the dub.
All right.
Okay, fair enough.
I think it was fine.
Fair enough.
All right. Okay.
I think this.
Wait, language is in the dub. The language is in the dub.
Yeah, actually, how does Julie? Can you even tell that she's not very good at English or anything?
Oh, good point. She just talks like a baby.
Speaks baby.
I guess that's fair.
Yeah, kind of like
probably the best run around, work around.
Yeah.
Right. Well, back to the recap, I guess. So the plan is they're going to travel to the forest where the teleportation circle is, and then they're going to teleport to Bagaret, and they're going to spend a month getting to the city of Rapan, and then he's going to help his parents, and then he's going to come back quickly, and it's all going to be great. So
now, a stated plan and a narrative never comes to pass, EliteAri. My goodness. Way to spoil it.
Well, I mean, half of it has already come to pass. They're at Rapan already pretty quickly. So Rudy and Elinalise, they give their goodbyes. So there's two major things going on here. One is the interaction with Cliff and Elinalise. So Cliff basically at this point proposes that he and Elinalise get married when she comes back. They'll buy a house together and live together. And he thinks that she's worried that he was all talk since he hasn't cured her condition yet. And Elinalise, she gets all teary-eyed and she says she's horrible for planning to leave without telling him, and they're all like cute and hugging and all that. So that's one element of it. I like this a lot. However, I want to say that I can't imagine this working anywhere near as well for someone who hasn't read the light novel. Because like I've said, I think many times before, that you get a lot of Elinalise, especially in like toward the end of Volume 7, and they're traveling around with Rudy and all that. And you also get a lot of Cliff in the light novel, and you get point of view chapters of Cliff, so you see his perspective of certain things. And he feels like he's constantly around, and him, Rudius, and Zainoba feel like a trio that you see a lot throughout the school arc. And yeah, I feel like I just can't imagine this hitting as much if you haven't seen that context. But for me, it definitely hit. I was like, oh my god. And they're using the music that I used for my poem video, and it's like the really emotional music. And I'm like, oh, this is so cute. Anyway, so
I was like, wasn't this supposed to be a funny relationship? Weren't we supposed to be laughing about this? So now we're supposed to be crying about it.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, to me, it sounds like Elinalise is basically one of the most butchered characters in this series on the translation over from the light novel. Because I'm still here trying to remember, like, why do they like each other? I've not bought this at all. I'm just so confused. Like,
yeah,
like what about this guy?
Because it's
like,
funny.
That
no,
he's such a righteous little boy.
I think Cliff might be
he is funny when
or something.
Okay, cool.
But I mean, Elinalise is like an elf, so who knows how old she is? But
yeah, but yeah, okay. And I'm also coming over from Free Rent, where you've also got very old elf. And,
oh yeah, sure.
Like, the other 17-year-old kid with her is like treated as like her child and not a love interest. Anyway, that reminded me.
Wait, how old was Himmel in Free Rent when they were together?
That's a great question. I mean, to be fair, like I don't know.
All right.
He was obviously like 17.
Yeah, all right. I could imagine Himmel being in his like 17 to 20-year-old like kind of phase, but probably not. I'm sure it's probably in his 30s or something. Who knows?
Yeah. Who knows with anime characters?
Himmel go way back.
Very funny, Kyle.
Kyle, greatest scene. Okay, it's Cliff and Japanese girl arguing over the circles and working together. That was amazing. See, I could get down with that.
Yeah, whatever.
That's a ship to ship. Get Elinalise out of here. Become a pope.
No, she's the Japanese girl has a real Japanese boyfriend, and she's gonna go back to him and be a real girl, unlike Rudius, who wants to be in his little fake one.
And as she experienced Japanese sexism.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah,
so Kyle?
Sexism.
Oh,
wait, well, how is that Japanese sexism? Bacon doesn't know what he's talking about.
No. She's going back to Japan, where Japanese sexism exists.
I'm pretty sure I guess sexism probably isn't that much here. Yeah, it is. Remember, Eris was going to get sold off to be raped by her uncle or something? That's crazy. How about Fitatoa sexism, Bacon? Bitch?
I forgot about that. Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, to be fair, get out of this Mushoku Tensei world as fast as possible. Yeah.
I guess that's it. You could make an interesting video about like sexism in the Mushoku Tensei world. Because if you think about I think it's more like adventurers. There's not necessarily a bias toward gender there. Like you can have male and female adventurers, and they're like equally respected or anything. But when it comes to larger society, especially the nobles and stuff, then yeah, there's a lot of sexism in that regard. So yeah, it's could be interesting. All right. What were we saying? They're planning to leave. Oh yeah, that's all the Cliff stuff, which I thought was really cute. Then we have Elinalise telling Sylphie that she'll keep Rudy safe, and then they'll get back before she gives birth, and she says, "Never fear, nothing will go wrong." In quotations, okay, I just quoted that.
So, EliteAri, you're trying to tell me that Sylphie isn't concerned at all that Rudius is gonna fuck this girl?
I mean, she could be a little bit. Like, why would you think that she isn't concerned a lot at all? I mean, firstly, it's her grandma.
She didn't say anything about it at the time, and
I mean, maybe she thinks her grandma isn't gonna have sex with him.
EliteAri, as my content partner, you're not allowed to hang around with Jarkey Bacon without me for 6 months.
All right. Well, too bad.
And we got to have that conversation. Now, Sylphie's just like, this is... I guess the point is, EliteAri, you're a taught moron, which we were supposed to say, was that, well, Sylphie doesn't know that he's a lecherous bastard, EliteAri, and but like we do.
I mean, Sylphie absolutely knows that Paul Greyrat was a very sexually driven person.
Yeah, but her sweet little Rudius is nothing like his father.
Yeah, okay, that's gonna be hype when Eris meets Sylphie, and then Sylphie meets Eris. That'd be cool.
That would be interesting.
I'll keep my mouth shut, EliteAri. I'll keep my mouth shut. I just won't say anything.
All right, good. Okay, so nothing will ever go wrong, and it's like a close-up shot of her face, and then we get like a close-up shot of Sylphie, and she's crying when the two of them leave. So she held it in. She was all happy and stuff, and a little bit concerned, but then she cries when they leave, and I'm like, oh, Sylphie, it's so sad.
And we have this is when we're like, is Mushoku Tensei generic or is it not? Because sorry, I'm trying to do a Kyle bit here, but I can't do it as well. See, I was wondering if it was like, hang on, is it telling us all these things to be obviously foreshadowing, because foreshadowing is obvious, or is it not going to do the obvious foreshadowing and keep us and actually go well? But then I watched the OP and I was like, well, it doesn't seem like it's gonna be easy. But then we know he's gonna regret it. But how's he gonna regret it? And does that mean he's not coming back? Or because I mean, it's setting up like, oh yeah, you're not coming back, or like something awful is gonna happen. I mean, we've basically been told that. So just gonna wait and see what it is, basically. But maybe he won't. Yeah. Maybe he won't. Maybe
it'll go perfectly.
Yeah. I mean, I do kind of treat the man god as like a perfect narrator, just not telling you all the information.
Interesting.
But that is a strong assumption. So.
All right. I'm not going to say nothing. So
me neither.
So you will say something.
Except I will say I love every scene with the man god. Every time he shows up, like, oh my god, it's like the best thing ever. I love Mushoku Tensei.
It is the best thing ever. Yeah. Man god.
All right. Which, I thought there was going to be something about that here, but for my light novel readers out there, I was a bit mistaken between something else that happens later when they're doing something, and you probably have no idea what I'm saying. But anyway, whatever.
I know exactly what you're saying, EliteAri.
Okay. Yeah. Elinalise and Rudy.
Called the man god.
So that's I can't nothing. I don't know. Why does he say that, Kyle? I don't know. That's a good question.
So is
thought he could say something, Bacon? That was embarrassing.
Well, we do get one scene with money. Yeah, go ahead, Bacon.
So you got what are the races here? So you have dwarves, you have elves, you have different type of elves.
We saw hobbits on the map last time, Bacon. It was crazy.
No, crazy.
Yeah, it was like some place was called like.
So Rudy is a man, right?
So the way I would describe it, this isn't a spoiler at all because in the light novel, volume 1, I think, volume 2, we get a giant chapter which is all lore about this world, and it's like in Eris's like library or something. You get this massive lore dump. So I think there's like at least they used to be, and there's probably like a bunch of mixed races now, but there used to be like 6 different races basically. There was like the humans. I don't know if I can even name them all. The humans, the sky folk, the sea folk, the beast folk, the dragons, and the demons. And they were like the kind of 6 races, but these days there's like a lot of really mixed races. Like for instance, Sylphie is like a mix of like elf and something else. She doesn't even know what she's a mix of. So that's the 6 divisions I guess I would go with.
Right. Oh my god!
I was going to theorize that the man god only appears to humans, and humans are only from our world. So
he's the god of the man. Perhaps. Oh my god!
Well, I mean, who have we seen him talk to?
Rudius.
But he also hates the dragon guy. Remember Bacon?
Olstein. Yeah, he does not like him.
They had to talk one time. Now that Orsted fella also said the greatest line in Mushoku Tensei history, Bacon. Remember when he said Paul's only supposed to have 2 kids? Crazy! Oh my god! Does that mean he's some sort of isekai brother too? Oh my god, Bacon! My new favorite theory is that Sylphie is also isekai'd. Now, EliteAri, I forget why I said that. Why did I say that again?
I don't remember your logic.
Because then she would forgive Rudy because one time she's gonna find out that Rudy's like a 50-year-old ugly dude from Thingy and that she's a victim of pedophilia. But then it's gonna be like, psych, she was also an ugly 50-year-old girl, and that would have been crazy. Now this made sense, Bacon. I'm telling you, this tied into something. It was genius. But what was the thing I said before that I actually wanted Bacon to say something about Ari? Just about 30 seconds ago.
The dragon god, the lion.
Orsted said that he only had 2 kids. That was supposed to be Orsted is an isekai, but that's probably not right. Because that would have supported Bacon's position, EliteAri. See, I'm saying things to say things here. I'm not just saying things to say things.
Genius.
Yeah. I will say that Sylphie is pretty perfect at the moment. And so that's another thing. I hope she has a bit
I'm not saying
she has some flaws. I hope. You mean that she's too perfect as
a
character?
Yeah. Well, I guess. Yeah. I mean.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I can understand that. Actually, she does seem to be like a very stereotypical good wife who like is just happy with everything, and there's been no turmoil.
And they do kind of lampshade it, be like, "Wow, I've got so lucky with this wife." And he says like multiple times, "You are perfect."
I guess
that's obviously set up for him fucking it up, right? It has
could be.
Yes, but that just means it's more focused on.
Yeah,
I like some more. It's just more focused on him. Yeah,
doesn't give Sylphie any depth.
I do want to say because like people are probably commenting right now and they're like, oh, because they probably think you're tearing down Sylphie's character, and they would say that there is an entire life that Sylphie has on her own when she's defending Ariel. So it's like she is her entire own character, and she isn't just defined by their relationship. She's not just like a perfect wife or anything.
Yeah, but the anime hasn't made me feel like that.
Yeah, I guess that's pretty.
Maybe novice. That's the case. It's just
we got like a whole Sylphie episode this season at the beginning of the season. But yeah, that was like spread across multiple volumes, and there's like been so many at the school that have been cut out from their perspective, and I can understand why. I guess you would see her as that. But the Sylphie in my mind is at this point, even, I think it's a very interesting character.
This is the crazy thing about this adaptation. It's like it is so like the amount of information we lack is just incredible. And yeah, it feels like anime just can't do good service towards it. Like
I think it does a decent job, But then again, I don't have.
Yeah.
I can't really frame it. I have no idea. But you know what? We'll see.
I feel like
go ahead, Kyle. Yeah.
Like all the necessary, like there's nothing that I'm like, oh, because I didn't know this. I didn't know the sea folk were a thing. The Mushoku Tensei didn't make sense until now. But I feel like most of the time Ari's like, well, they cut this bit out. It's usually just like characterization stuff. Which if I was a light novel reader, you know me and my Chainsaw Man, cutting that shit out would make me try to kill somebody, and I would be saying this is a 0 out of 10 adaptation, terrible bullshit. But as a silly anime only over here, an uneducated fuck. I'm just like, well, all makes sense to me, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. I just feel like I'm missing out on a couple of things because when Ari explains, I'm just like, there's enough stuff that's hitting that I enjoy it, but it's all around about like 6, 7 out of 10 range. But
sometimes
like,
EliteAri says the coolest shit, and I'm like, man.
Yeah, I'm just like, man, maybe I should read it.
I wish the anime was good.
True, very true. Yeah. You know what they cut out this
Kyle,
season?
Would you read if I read?
Oh, that's a good question.
Probably. See, I was thinking, Bacon, because recently I've been on my consumption planning list, you know, everybody's favorite thing to do in their whole life, plan what you're going to watch instead of watching it. And I got to the part and I'm like, I should really read one light novel. I got to read one in my life, right? And I was doing the same thing with visual novels. But I don't want to play Steins Gate, Bacon. I already watched the goddamn anime. And I don't want to read Mushoku Tensei. I already watching the stupid thing. So I was like, ReZero, that's lame.
It's not early.
And then I was trying to find one. So I am trying to find one, Bacon. So maybe if you can convince me or something. I don't know.
Well, let me put it this way. I've watched, I think, a fair few anime that are from light novels. And Mushoku Tensei is the only one that's maybe actually wanting to read the light novel. ReZero, I mean,
trash.
Yeah. There's nothing making me want to go read that. And
wait, Ari, have you seen ReZero? I think you have.
Yeah. I like ReZero quite a bit. Nowhere near as much as I like Mushoku Tensei, but I think it's really good.
Dude, I was bringing up season 2. I got like 30 seconds in, and I was like,
you got ReZero IP, okay? Go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be honest though, it could be a similar day. Like if I was watching this for a YouTube thing, I probably would get through it. But like, it's just.
I think you would have a very good idea of how much you would like it just by reading volume 1. You'd notice immediately the difference between like the light novel and the anime and how much like in your head or in Rudy's head you are. And then if you like that, you'd be like, "Oh, I'm really interested." And if you don't, you'd be like, it's not really for me." So maybe give it a try. You know, give volume 1 a read.
Yeah. Well, yeah. No, I've been thinking about it for a while. You know, but because that's the only way we know how to get views on YouTube nowadays.
Yeah.
Vinland Saga fans, boy, we small fry. Or either I'm just making. To be fair, I'm not making any good videos. So.
Well, you're making the only good video. Oh, and actually, no. You know, there's Vinhard and there's Mir, and that is true. There are some good Vinland. It's very few good Vinland content creators out there.
Well, I'm just not making many videos at the moment. So
that is very true.
Makes sense. Not being I'm not being rewarded because there's nothing to reward. But yeah, that's what I get from making stuff I like.
Yep. All right. Well,
makes good videos. But yeah. Anyway, great thoughts from ReZero. I kind of binge watch all of season 1. It was when I was new to anime, so I think I definitely put up with more stuff. It definitely has like an engaging. I don't want to say gimmick because that feels like it's being pejorative, but like a fundamental story mechanic. But I do think it definitely like wore thin after a while. Maybe it's. I know everybody says they don't. The whale arc was the long one, but
sure.
Maybe I think.
Well, talk about the season 2. My God, season 2 is all one arc basically. Crazy. Anyway, Kyle, you back?
One arc of mid.
All right, enough. No
I remember Canton didn't like it. Hashtag
Kyle would hate it.
Imagine if we could do this in person. Person.
I just realized what Bacon said.
Yeah, we could all be sitting in Kyle's car right now and recording. It'd be great.
And how have you guys not messed up? You guys are in the same country. Crazy.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, Ari.
We're gonna keep going, all right? So.
See, I'm stuck with Cyclic. So whatever, how you say the name. So I can't be with that guy. So
I wouldn't be want to see him with him in public. You know, EliteAri's a fan of Mushoku Tensei, so maybe he's a little problematic too. You know?
Yeah, but that's true. I would say Twitter Ari has been kind of quiet recently.
Hey, I tweeted one out about Kettle and Arnie, and you know people would.
Yeah, that was Rogue, or I think it's the Zoomers nowadays in the USA, out of pocket.
All right, guys, we're too off topic here. Okay, people are screaming. They're like, get back to Mushoku Tensei.
Do they do that? Do they not like us talking like we're friends?
I think the people who watch this, no, they don't. I think they watch it because they like Mushoku Tensei. I've seen a lot of people, you know,
exquisite type, Bacon. They're
Yep.
You gotta remember, Bacon, and it's wild. These aren't my fans. These are Ari's fans that watch. And sometimes I gotta remember that.
Sometimes they're not even my fans.
Like...
They're like people who are like, who is this idiot? Like, who's yelling or whatever, and it's just Kyle, and they have no idea who he is or who I am.
Yeah, they have no context for me, and I'm so used to being like the one that everybody's like known for longer, and
you're used to being the top dog, and you feel inadequate now.
Yeah, now Ari's catching me in secondary subscribers, and it's just not good, Bacon. And...
oh, don't worry, you'll get there. Ari, I mean, I remember when you passed me, so yeah, everybody loses their crown at some point.
Well, not in main channel subscribers. Let's not get crazy.
No. When we met, I had more subs than you.
Damn.
Oh yeah, that's true.
All right, well,
Elinalise channel.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Elinalise and Rudy, they begin their travels. Okay, this is the exciting part of the episode. Oh my god, guys! So
it is.
Firstly, they rent a giant horse and they take that horse to a forest, and it's like a nice montage with this giant, absurdly large horse.
I was so happy when we didn't meet this horse guy. I was like, I don't need this right now. Let's speed it up. And then we didn't meet him. It was great.
Yep. So
what's his name, Ari? I know you know his name.
Nokaprof? Wait, what do you mean? Which horse guy?
The guy that was just with him carrying a horse, and then he took the horses back.
Oh, I think you meant Nokaprof from the Demon Continent. The guy who just... I have no idea.
No, not Roxy's horse friend.
I have no idea who this random horse guy was that brought them a horse. How would I possibly
Well, obviously
know that
in the light novel, he got 3 chapters, and he had a whole backstory, and he loves this horse. And then one time the bandits tried to steal a horse, and they all had to
Oh, no, that's Paul.
Off.
We do learn a lot about Paul's horse and how much he loved it. And it was sad when Rudy accidentally zapped it with lightning. No, when Roxy did that, it was very sad. Anyway.
Oh my god, I vaguely remember that.
Yeah. They head to the forest, and they find a dragon stone. And then Rudius, this is some interesting...
I love Dragonstone,
stuff.
My favorite Game of Thrones location.
Yep, very true. Well, I guess it's a dragon rune, kind of, Dragonstone/rune. Rudius purges the barrier. So this is the first time, one of the first times I think we've
Runestone,
seen...
my second favorite Game of Thrones location. I love the Veil.
Is Runestone... I don't remember anything about that.
Yeah, I remember Daemon's wife. He killed her that time. Oh my god, she was from Runestone.
All right, anyway. They purged the barrier, and this is the first time, I think, that we've seen barrier magic besides that one time where Rudius was trapped in that barrier for Zenoba's brother. Remember that? So, anyway. And
I do remember that.
Yeah, so Rudy... I guess that, yeah, there's a whole element of magic. There's, like, the attack magic, there's the healing magic, there's the barrier magic, there's summoning magic.
There's the fucking up magic, remember?
Yes, there is. There's the stirb magic that is not known by anyone, apparently, except for Orsted, so that was really interesting.
And Rudy can use it or something.
True, and he can only use it because he saw Orsted do it. So it's like, ooh, Rudy's like learning here from one of the best in the world.
He used it on Sophie, and then she married him. That was
true, very true. Okay, Rudy says a big speech. Okay, he says, and I quote, "That dragon lived only for conviction. None could escape."
Oh my god, they said Dragon Lord and stuff. This is crazy.
So the dragon lived only for conviction. None could escape the reach of his magnificent arms. The second dragon to die, the dragon general with the most ephemeral eyes, his scales green and silver. In the name of Holy Dragon Emperor Shirad, I hereby break this seal. So that was kind of cool. I like that.
I could beat up Shirad. I know it. Now, EliteAri, obviously, the conviction is to kill the man god.
Interesting.
I only know one dragon guy, and they're all the same guy in my head. But then they said the second one died, and that probably isn't the one we know.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's a dragon skeleton over top of the town we're going to.
Mm-hmm. There is a giant...
is it a dragon?
Well, there's a giant skeleton of some monstrous creature, it seems like.
That's also a Game of Thrones thing, because one of the Iron Islands is like in the carcass of a big whale from like 20,000 years ago, literally.
Interesting.
I can keep going if you want.
Okay, no, they enter the ancient ruin, which was hidden by the barrier, and they find the teleportation circle. And Elinalise is a little bit hesitant, stating that she's had bad experiences with teleportation. And Rudy agrees.
Oh my god, EliteAri knows what that means, and we don't, Bacon. Isn't that so cool?
I mean, you could probably assume what it is. Like, it's not that crazy of a thing, I don't think. At least I can tell you what my assumption is. I guess that'll kind of give it away, wouldn't it?
They were traveling one time and they got teleported.
Yeah, well, no, I think it's more about how she's like a very skilled adventurer, and she might have like come across them when in her adventurer days, maybe. But you know, maybe we'll learn more about this. Yeah, so then Rudy agrees on this because of the teleportation incident, and then the two of them step onto the teleportation circle, and this is like the moment. It's like, is it gonna work? Is there gonna be trouble? Are they gonna die? Like, what's gonna happen? Oh my god!
And it did work.
Yeah, so a white light consumes them, and they wake up in another dragon ruin, which is somewhat interesting. Then we get the actual interesting thing, which is that Rudy suggests that they test the return journey, and Elinalise volunteers to do it. She's like, oh my god, imagine if like you got left behind and had to like tell Paul that his son, accidentally got sent back and can't come back. But then when Elinalise steps in, she goes there. She ends up taking way longer than Rudy was expecting. It's like, I think in the light novel, they say it took like 15 minutes roughly. And it turns out that the teleportation isn't instant. So that's kind of interesting. Yeah, I don't know what to say beyond that. But
I saw a Crunchyroll comment being funny about this, like there was something else going on here. So, and then I was like, how does he know that it only takes 15 minutes? But I guess how does he know that they didn't travel like 10 years into the future or something? Now that could be something he regrets. Jarkey Bacon, write that down. Because they don't have like watches or nothing, and they can't just go out and check their phones to see what time it is, and they don't know any of the stuff around here to know if it's changed in the last 2 years in which it took them to teleport. So that could be crazy and stuff. So hold on, we got Nanahoshi. She's a little Japanese girl, and she comes over when the teleportation incident happens. Now, how long does it take between the teleportation incident and for them to meet Rudius? Now, that's probably like 2 years or something. I think they grew up. Now, Jarkey Bacon, you listen. So 2 years. That means it can't be that long because, Nanahoshi doesn't age. But actually, I thought that was a disprover here, but there isn't. It could take like 3 months because what it could be is it could be not an alternative for traveling. It could just save you the actual hassle of traveling, and you just go to the place. So it might take the same amount of time. You never know these things.
But Elinalise went there and back though, and Rudius was waiting for like a couple of minutes.
Yeah. So it does disprove it, EliteAri. Why didn't you say something?
I don't know. I'm letting you logic out your theories here. Maybe you'd have a nice theory you could come up with.
Now, I did think that at first, and I had a way around it in my head, but I can't remember.
Well, anyway, I had something I was going to say.
Oh, that's okay. Not what he regrets, Bacon. Cross it out.
No, there is something interesting here to point out. I make all these light novel comparisons. Let me say this is one of the light novel. Okay, wait. Let me start this again. The light novel, which I've said many times, okay, and if you've read it, fills out a lot of details about magic from Rudius's perspective when he's experimenting with it. A lot of volume 1 is Rudy basically experimenting with the limits of magic and how it works, and and theorizing about what mana is and why he has so much mana. And when he's talking about developing his stone cannon in like volume 3 or 4 or whatever, when he's traveling, he's talking about like experimenting with like hollow point like bullets and stuff. And when he's learning about the cumulonimbus, like messing with the clouds, he talks about how he stirs them together so they can create whatever, like they can last forever, so that he has to use less mana. All that. There's really interesting elements like that to this world when it comes to magic. Usually they've left out those details in the anime. However, in this case with the teleportation magic, they actually left it in, which is that like there is a bit of a time lag, and that's kind of an interesting element of the magic in this world. And maybe it will become more of an important thing, or maybe it won't. Maybe it's just like a detail in the world. But I like it, so I was very glad to see this detail.
Jarkey Bacon, imagine this: there's a fight going on, Rudius versus Perugius. That's like the bad guy or something. Yeah. But Rudius has a friend.
He's like a Polish type of pasta or something.
Oh my god, Jarkey Bacon doesn't get the joke because he doesn't remember the bad guy's name, EliteAri. Now, the bad guy's name is Laplace, Jarkey Bacon, but the guy that defeated him in Mushoku Tensei history is called Perugius, right, EliteAri?
He was one of the like 4 people, I don't know how many, 3, 6 great heroes alongside Rudyard.
Oh my god, see, Bacon, I was being smart.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So, Kyle, you say you don't, you say you like...
this show sucks!
Yeah. Okay, cool.
I know what you're going to say, Bacon. That's only because I make that joke every episode, Bacon. Don't worry, next week I'll make it again. But anyway, so they're fighting, but Rudius has got a friend named Eris, and they're fighting together versus the final bad guy, who's probably a good guy, and I just got the name wrong. So what's going to happen is somebody... Why am I here in my goddamn phone? Pause that, EliteAri. Now, what's going to happen is somebody's going to get hit into a thingy and get lagged out for 15 minutes, and that'll leave Rudius alone with the bad guy. I know it. That's what this was set up for.
Genius.
Crazy.
I can write this goddamn piece of shit show.
Yep. And then he'll use the book that he found about Bagarrett, and it'll help him out. He'll stop some poison about like teleportation. It'll be great.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And Paul's going to write a letter saying, please come save me.
Yep. A genius prediction.
Got that one right. Nanahoshi's going to be an isekai girl, EliteAri. Want to bring out some other ones I'm a genius about?
All right. Anyway. So, I guess another thing. While Rudius is waiting for this 15 minutes, whatever's passing, he
finds his cloak. Oh my god, that Orsted's cloak.
Yeah, he finds Orsted, Dragon God Orsted's clothing in like a closet, which is really funny and cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that wasn't like talked about enough. Yeah, like it just...
I was wondering if you guys would pick up what it is. So I'm glad you realized it was Orsted's clothing.
Okay.
Boss, I did EliteAri. I love this show.
Yeah.
I noticed the cloak and I was like, I recognized it and I was like, oh, what's that from? And then it took me a little bit to get. I was like, that was most like Orsted. I was like, that makes sense because if he uses this a lot, right? He would leave.
He folded it up nice. That's weird.
Yeah, it's a bit weird. I was a bit like, man, we're not in a shopping mall. We're not in Uniqlo.
It's a bit of characterization for Orsted. It's kind of interesting, don't we think?
What if he had shown it to Elinalise and she would have been like, I know that guy from our travels. That could have been cool, but they didn't do that, Bacon. They hid that so that she wouldn't say that because that's gonna get revealed later, right? That one down.
Yeah, okay. Cool.
They met him. They remember he knows Paul. He was like, Paul's only supposed to have 2 kids. But that wasn't because he met him in the past. That's because Orsted's some weird meta god thingy, and he knows how the storyline's supposed to play out, and he knows that his side, because he's obviously a good guy, because he's cool, is gonna lose, and he's keeps trying to fight it. Remember what they said about conviction in that silly speech? So it's like a cool meta thing that Paul's only supposed to have 2 kids, and then some other dude summoned Rudy is here so they can actually win this in this go around the time loop. You know, it's like Thanos. So that's it. But he also didn't. He wanted to kill Rudy. That's
so.
Crazy.
Do viewers like?
So that's a bit of contradiction.
What are the stats to these videos? I'm just like, viewers like Kyle going on these like amazing theory
I don't care
things?
what they like.
I've read one comment. I just scrolled down to like one comment just to catch up on the Mushoku, and someone was like getting annoyed that Kyle said he got a prediction right. So,
oh my god, that was such bullshit. EliteAri gaslit the audience into thinking I wasn't correct when I was absolutely 100% correct. It was bullshit.
No. The argument was that this whole season, Kyle has been saying that, oh my god, Rudy's going to leave the school because he's going to go save his mum or whatever. And I was saying how, like, obviously this was already addressed because in Volume 7, the beginning of this season, he had the decision and then he didn't make the decision. So Kyle was already proven wrong in his prediction, but he continues to make it falsely. But anyway, it's okay.
Absolutely false.
Anyway. All right.
I can't believe people have said they're waiting for my thoughts on the season. I'm sorry. I feel like I've let everybody down.
Because they just think you're going to save them from me, Bacon. You've become the Messiah. You've got to...
I am. What can I say?
Yeah, you're here to
Kyle, you say a lot of stupid stuff.
Oh,
Jesus wasn't British.
Oh, hey. We'll try and make you think he is.
He wasn't Canadian neither. I think he was playing a didgeridoo. I think that's where he's from.
Yeah.
EliteAri's the closest one. He's Armenian, or that's near Israel.
Is it? I guess maybe. I don't know anything about.
I did ask Ari if he was Jewish because I didn't know where he was from.
I do get that a lot for some reason. I don't know why. I guess Ari is like a Jewish name.
Ari's a Jewish name.
Yep.
And Ari, I think you look like you could be Jewish. That's
sure. I'm Jewish passing or whatever. Yeah, I probably could be.
There you go. Jewish passing. Now that's a term I've not heard before. There you go.
All right. Well, they find Orsted's clothing, and then Elinalise and Rudy, they travel to Rapan. So the city of Rapan, which I don't know if you have the full name yet, so I'm not going to spoil what the name is, but I'm sure we're going
to. Which is different to Rapana. Oh, sorry. What was it? Rapon. I'm trying to do a Black Lagoon thing.
Oh, Roanapa. Yeah.
Roanapa.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh my god, you guys lagged out for a second, and came back and you were talking about Black Lagoon. This is crazy.
Yeah.
But I would say that this is great. I was like, oh, we've got the change in music styles. This is what I love. You know, it's going to be fair.
Oh my god, I noticed
very
the music,
basic,
and it became
very
like
basic,
a desert
like
song. It was crazy.
Yeah, very basic African desert song, but actually maybe not African, just quintessential desert song.
Yeah, classic desert travel.
Probably like Egyptian, right?
Yeah. Saudi Arabian or something.
It reminded me of an Uncharted song because they were in the desert. Oh my god, I had a massive brain blast where, you know how in desert movies they're always like starving in the desert and then they see like water and stuff and it's like a mirage and stuff. But then they actually saw when it was real this time, and that's when I had a massive recontextualization moment that like those mirage things that Nathan Drake sees when he's going around in the desert and he's trying to get water and stuff are actually real, and that's why they imagine them, because you could feasibly see a pool of water with like the palm trees around him, because I remembered in a Pokemon game that existed too. No, I was like, oh my god, that's how deserts work. This is crazy. It's not just movie tropes. They'll lead you astray, Jarkey Bacon. Write that one down too.
It was a bit weird. Like it didn't look like at some point there's like a line of just like settlements around different oases, and it's like a really convenient line at some point.
There was. We went to that market for like 1 second. It was crazy. That was sick, and then we left. And I was like, "Oh, this is the greatest episode."
I thought that was very funny, where it's like you get a little patch of water, and the humans will like swarm to it and create a civilization around it. It was great.
Yeah. Well, I thought like the houses felt like too developed. I was like, man, this is like kind of a bit weird. I don't know what it actually looks like in real
consider
life,
you are in a world of magic where they can generate water like through some magicians. They just don't have as much like mana as Rudy does, so it'd be a bit more difficult.
Yeah, that was another thing. I was like, okay, Rudy, like, I was like, is it gonna be like a thing if they're gonna like run out of water? Because he was drinking a lot of water in like one scene. But I was like, no, he can just create water, right? So
yeah, he can summon as much as he wants. Remember, I don't know if you remember this, Bacon, but I was so hyped about this, and Kyle just was like, he didn't like it, but Rudy summons a cup and the water inside it for this one scene, and it was the sickest thing ever.
True.
And he like drank from it. I was like, man.
In the Norn episode.
Yeah, this is like 2 episodes.
That was pretty
ago.
swag. That was
Yep.
pretty swag.
Yep.
I will give it to him.
That was pretty sick. All
Well,
right.
He used Accio, bro.
But
right.
dude, no, that's not even Accio. Get out of here.
Yeah, that's what Harry Potter says in that one Half-Blood Prince scene. He goes,
But
no, that's when you
teleport
give it to him, you idiot. Shut up.
He doesn't
Okay.
teleport.
What's the water one?
Well, I mean, Hermione uses the Accio thing in her giant like bag that teleports somewhere else in the final 2 books.
Guys, you're not allowed to talk about Harry Potter.
All right, yes, you're
Harry
right. All
Potter's
right, all
over.
right.
Harry Potter's
So,
over. You're not allowed to.
the first thing
Everyone's
about their
like,
travels.
JK, just kidding.
Oh my god.
JK.
Who's more problematic, for being a pedophile or J.K. Rowling for being a transphobe?
I don't know actually. Mushoku Tensei is way
J.K. Rowling
smaller.
has more influence.
Yeah.
So surely she's worse, right? That's how it goes. You're doing some hedonic calculus there.
All right, we're getting back to Mushoku
I
Tensei,
know.
guys. Okay, so
was
the
just being
first really interesting, cute decision, small thing, which maybe you didn't care about at all, is that they decided to spend the first night inside the ruin because it was already night, and it's like, oh, we can't really travel at night. We might get
Because cold at night.
Yeah, it might
Movies
get
told me
cold.
that too.
True. So yeah, they spent the first night there, and then
And I love his tent that he makes.
oh yes,
It's like reminds me of Toph.
Yeah, exactly. They use like earth magic to make actual camps. It was really sick.
Reminds me of the greatest show that Carl hasn't watched, but he would say it's generic if he watched it, but you should still watch it, called Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh, that shit's generic as fuck.
I mean, it definitely is.
Yeah,
it's
but
really
Carl,
good.
it's the greatest thing of all time.
Yeah.
You like comedy? You love your ha-ha-he-he's? Great.
No, I hate comedy.
And the best, we already know your favorite character. So
Yeah.
I've already seen Naruto. Wait, who's my favorite character? Is it a girl?
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah, sick. Is she mean?
Yep.
yeah.
I don't like mean girls.
All right. Well, I guess we'll see.
She's also short.
It's that
which I
fire
find you
girl
also
that
like.
Miller was talking about that one time.
No.
Oh my god, Bacon! The one time I was watching a EliteAri stream and it spoiled for me that Aang was like 100 years old or something, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, how didn't I know that? That's crazy.
Oh
I don't
no,
know
you don't
anything
find
about
Carl. You don't find that out until 10 minutes into the first episode. I don't think you can
It's
watch
true.
it anymore.
Ari was watching a video talking about the beginning and comparing it to the very bad television show it was telling me. And that's what they said. And I was like, that's crazy. I really don't know a single Avatar spoiler.
All right, we're not
That
here for
Zuko
Avatar.
guy is going to be nice at the end.
Oh my god. Maybe not. I guess we'll have to see. And there's like a Korra. Korra's like the next Avatar, so there you go. Anyway.
Yeah, but she's from like a million years later.
Who's Zuko again?
He's the little Prince Fire guy. Prince Zorko.
Genius.
Oh, that guy.
All right.
Oh, okay.
So remember, there was in Avatar, they had the desert where they were traversing the desert, that one arc. Now in Mushoku Tensei, it's a long, hot journey across the desert. So they spend their nights in the makeshift home that Bacon talked about using stone magic. That was sick. And then on one of their nights, Rudy is allured by a succubus, and Elinalise steps in and kills it.
Wait, before this, he just wants to fuck Elinalise already, and I was like, isn't this a little quick? He's
No.
already trying to cheat? What the fuck's going on
It
here?
was the
Or was
smell.
this influencing him?
It was.
Or is the smell?
It was the smell of the succubus. Like the succubus was already in.
That
yeah.
makes a lot of sense. I was like, we're already doing this. Like, obviously, he's going to try and fuck her at one point, and he's going to have a big, like, I shouldn't do this moment. But we were just doing it, and it was a gag, and I was like, Mushoku Tensei just jumped the fucking shark. What the fuck? It's even worse than I expected. But now it makes some sense. The succubus did it. Okay.
I was about to say, does she have strong pheromones? Does Elinalise have strong pheromones or something?
No.
I'm trying to remember if that was a thing.
Has Elinalise always been wearing this arc, the little, like, short pants?
She's been wearing the school uniform, I think, most of the time.
I see.
Yeah. Now she's in
I
her
was about to
adventure
say,
outfit.
the school uniform was way better. I was about to say, like,
Absolutely.
maybe.
Definitely
My
downgrade.
goodness gracious me.
downgrade.
All right. Well, I'm glad we have a disagreement here. Okay, so
I thought the explanation was just the short shorts. That's all I'm saying. But apparently it was just a succubus. Now that's not what succubus looks like in Berserker. I don't know what Mushoku Tensei is on about.
yeah, I had no idea what the succubus looked like actually, because I have a vague recollection that it looked like a woman, and I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But apparently it turned into a demon, like feathered, like creature thing, and I was like, damn, this is sick.
Like a harpy EliteAri.
yeah,
That's like
harpy,
It was pretty cool.
Celia.
That's why I don't really believe you when you say the production is worse. I mean,
No, Bacon,
it
wait.
is,
Let me
but
say.
it is like
this
okay, things
episode was
look
great.
jank, but yeah, but it's still really good.
The harpy
Like,
ladies, bro. That's crazy.
I think this episode
thinking,
had more like small details and interesting, or like really difficult animation than like the rest of the season combined. I think this had a lot of great stuff.
I was about to complain. You know, Mushoku Tensei fans don't know how good they got it.
That is
And then
true.
Carl could complain. It's like Vinland Saga fans don't know how good they got it.
Well, Jesus. He would
I don't
never
want
say that.
Berserk to have an anime. Stop implying that I do.
Yeah, you do.
All right.
Absolutely not.
on one of their nights, the succubus thing, Elinalise steps in, she kills it, and then
Villain
we
Saga
see...
fans don't have it good? My goodness.
Oh, this is to address something that Kyle brought up before. I think a few episodes ago. He's like, have we ever seen Elinalise fight? And I think I was like, I don't think we
I'm going to say this, EliteAri. She fucked it up real quick. It was sick. She's like the strongest ever. But then later when she's trying to fight that griffin, she's not the greatest ever, and Rudy has to help her.
First time, though, against the scorpion. He just drills her.
Oh, I love the scorpion.
I was like, Rudy is just kill stealing.
It was like a lobster scorpion
The bug
thing.
boy.
Yeah.
Huh? In this episode?
I don't know. We haven't got there yet. All right? It's after the succubus thing.
Oh, I thought it was before.
I mean, maybe it is. My notes might be out of order, but
wait, what are we talking about here?
Rudy, like, there's a bunch of fights they have in this episode, like randomly, as they're going through the.
Yeah, it was all sick. It was like 1 minute or way less than that.
And you know it's going to be good when they do like the FOV shift where they're like zooming out and the character's arms get really long, the foreshortening and stuff like that. I'm just like, oh, here we go.
Yep.
Mushoku Tensei, we're running along the ground really quick. The shading's gone, so you know it's going to go hard.
True.
It's going great.
Can somebody tell me what scorpions are about?
It's like a blue bug boy.
Yeah.
A big bug boy that they fought.
That was following him, this white thing that was sick.
No, we're getting to that. It was a blue. You know what? We'll talk about the lobster thing when we get to it, all right? The scorpion lobster.
I'll find it.
Yeah, Kyle will send a picture.
What? There was no scorpion. They're both lying to me.
All right, we'll get there, okay? Elinalise, back to her fighting. She uses a sword and a shield, so it's a very kind of interesting, simple warrior kind of fighting.
She did look dorky with her shield. I don't know
It's a very little, like, round shield. It was, yeah.
If it was bigger, I think it would be dorkier. But I was just like, oh, I didn't expect her to be a hand-to-hand fighter.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she does. She does just kill the succubus.
Yeah.
So Rudy uses detoxification magic on himself to remove the effects of the succubus, because even after it was killed, he was still like impacted by it.
So that's what he was doing, Bacon. I see.
What?
Yeah. All right.
Sorry, I'm trying to find this thing.
He's just talking about the succubus. Rudy using detoxification magic.
Oh, I see.
Now, okay, this is what Bacon was talking about. They have an interesting journey, is my note that I have here. And when I say interesting, I mean it takes up, half a light novel volume and, bit of an episode here. So they fight some giant lobster-looking things, which is, I think, what Bacon is talking about, and he'll find a great... They did.
You're not talking about the griffins, right? That's a separate thing.
What?
Jesus Christ.
Take screenshots. I'm going to die.
Oh my god, all right. I'll get the picture,
Wait,
right?
Are the griffins a different thing? Somebody needs to give me a
They're different. The griffins are different.
Oh my god. I can't believe you don't remember
this. Have you done this? Have you done this for the last 3 weeks? Or how many weeks you've done this? It's unbelievable.
I just shut him down.
I apologize to anybody that has to listen to this man.
Oh yeah, I got a picture.
Somebody find me a goddamn lobster.
I can't.
Wait, no, I got this.
Please screenshot.
Wait for it.
Oh my god,
Crunchyroll.
Can I just look?
Well, no, I got it.
Here's the picture. 1733. Watch the scene again.
I don't see a picture anywhere.
Wait, look in the collab channel right there. I'm sending a picture. It's processing. It's uploading. It's sending. There's a lobster.
Oh my god.
Sorry, scorpion. I don't know why I keep saying lobster.
I vaguely remember this now. But no, also I don't. How did they beat this thing?
Beat it up, all right?
Line takes the front line, and then he gets iced in the head by Drill Boy.
Yep. It was sick. Great animation.
No.
Yeah, it was like good teamwork. It was like what every D&D party wants to do. You got your front line, you got your DPS.
Yeah. Rudy and Elinalise, they make a great team. I think they fight well together. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, they should get married, bro.
Yep. All right. Well.
Oh my god, I'm looking at it now.
We'll give you a live reaction because we're a reaction channel.
Hold on, it's loading.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, it's already dead.
Yeah, it was a quick. It was like a few seconds. Yeah, it was a great fight. Anyway, we're moving on. All right, the giant
I don't
scorpion.
remember this at all. This is
pretty sick, isn't it? All right.
Nah, not as cool as what's gonna happen.
Yeah. Then they pass by a giant white turtle-looking thing, and it's like walking slowly next to it.
It was cool. He was just following him. What the fuck was that?
Yeah.
That's like
it's just their friend.
I thought they were gonna catch a ride.
Yeah. I mean, it seemed like it was a bit slow, but yeah. This is the nice background environmental storytelling that season 1 of Mushoku Tensei really excelled at. And it was good to see it here, where it's like, you don't need to show this random white thing in the background that has nothing to do with anything, but show it because it's cool. So yeah.
Yeah.
The next up, they spend some time in a market city surrounding a body of water. And during her time here, Elinalise goes out manhunting. Because,
True, she's cheating. What the hell?
Yeah.
I guess Cliff knew that was going to happen.
Yeah. Like the implement, it's not perfect. It's still got to be improved. So she does still have to have sex. They run into a giant cliff face. And they ascend using Rudius's magic, which is always very handy. And I guess even Elinalise points it out. It's like, oh, nice to be traveling with someone so much mana. And then they run into the Griffins, which, you know, Kyle thought was a scorpion, and they fight one of them.
No.
They each fight one. Yeah. So what did you think of this fight, Kyle? It seems to get a lot to say about this Griffin fight, so...
Not really. It was just cool. It was another monster.
Cool.
You know, the second monster of the episode after the harpy, because that scorpion thing was fake news. And they just had a little fight, and we didn't have to spend forever on it, like with those dumb polar bears or whatever. Remember that? So this was epic. And Griffins are pretty cool, and it was just like it was the third monster after the turtle thing of the episode. And I was like, man, this is just so cool.
Yep.
Reminded me of the Dark Souls boss fight when there's two gargoyles.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right.
Yeah, there you go. Reference.
I've already seen Berserk. I don't need to play Dark Souls.
I like that this was a little bit of a challenging fight. You know, the Griffins fought back a little bit. Rudius's magic wasn't working instantly. I kind of like to see that.
True.
So yeah. Then after this Griffin fight, they spend some time by the campfire. And I think they're still on the top of the cliff, but they might be at the bottom. I don't know. Oh
my god, in one of the shots, Alina, the little white dude is back there and his eyes light up for a second.
Really?
Yep.
Did you see that? Oh my god, look, he's there.
Wait, which shot? When they're fighting the Griffins?
Wait, no, it might just be a rock. And his eyes don't light up and I'm lying.
Jesus Christ, Kyle. I don't even know what you're talking about. Describe it. Where is this? What's happening?
No, it's like there's fire. No, his eyes don't light up. I just made that up. I swear I saw it.
I don't even know what you're talking about at this point.
Oh, there's just rocks in the background. I thought one of them was our friend. The campfire one, you idiot. What do you think? I'm going too far off topic?
All right. Well, yeah, Kyle.
I was also wondering
for a creature. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, there was also I was worried like Rudius may actually hit Elinalise with his drill bit.
Yeah, when she like pinned it down and it's like now Rudius, and it's like ooh, she could get hit right here. I was actually also expecting that, even though I knew that it wasn't going to happen. Yep.
Also, I love that Rudius is like I love a shortcut. I was like, my guy.
Yeah,
I respect it.
Okay, the campfire. So Elinalise tells Rudy that he reminds her of Zenith, who used to scold her for not behaving ladylike. And it turns out that Elinalise... Yeah, Kyle was like freaking out here. And turns out Elinalise has known Zenith since she was Rudius's age. She was a clueless little girl who Paul picked up and brought with their party. That's what I brought.
God, this Paul fella's just no good, EliteAri.
Yeah, he's absolutely not. He is sexually driven. He has a bad reputation with women and people in general.
That's why he put the curse on Obana Wise.
Yeah, maybe. All right. And then I guess they also keep talking about how, like, Rudy asks what happened between, like, you and Paul, and Elinalise says, you probably don't want to hear about your father's messy love affairs. And Elinalise says that nothing that Paul can say can make her forgive him. So, yep, very bad blood here. I don't know why. She constantly brings it up. She's like, oh, I would never have sex with Paul's son or whatever, and throughout the season, and, you know, now they're talking about it again. So crazy.
Wouldn't that be a good way to get him back, to fuck his son?
Yeah, but then it should be, like, Paul's
no, but Kyle, then the curse will transfer to Rudius.
Well, good. Then she's like killing his son. That'd be even better.
Oh yeah, wow. But that's also Sylvia's
But she actually loves
now.
and hates him, Bacon. Because remember one time Roxy said to hit her and the little dwarf dude, "You guys hate Paul, right?" And they're like, "He is scum, yeah." And then, but you guys want to save him? And they said, "Yeah, we do."
I can't believe you remember that.
So I swear I saw this in a YouTube video the other day. So that means, oh yeah, that's I was about to make a funny, Mushoku Tensei's bad point, but that's just the point the video made, where it was like, oh, they're just validating his, rape, behavior. They're terrible people too.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, this world is a bad place. But I think a lot of the people who make videos about it, they kind of, they mistake it for saying that the story is a bad story because it condones it. But no, it's the world condoning it.
No. Right? Ari, every single thing that happens in the story means that the author definitely agrees with it and promotes it.
That's very true. Yep. Which is why we love... Actually, I was going to make a Vinland Saga thing about... Anyone, let's forget it. We're not going to talk about no more tangents.
You say Berserk, you idiot.
I don't care. I love Berserk. Berserk's great. I would never criticize it. But Vinland Saga, we don't like that one.
Berserk is very problematic.
So, the fight... I have one more note here, guys. We're almost there, okay? I said, they arrive in the city of Rapan, built inside the skeleton of a giant, like, monster creature thing. So, yep. Looks sick. Cool. Yep, I love it.
Now that monster is actually just the ice dragon, and he just got shrunk, and now he's underground, and he's got Lilith. No, Zenith.
Well done,
Lilith is from Evangelion and the Bible, leader. You would know that. Me and Bacon know everything about that.
I remember Lilith. It's like Adam or whatever. It's like the same thing.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
True. And it's like Ray or something.
Yep. Anyway, what else? There's nothing much more to say, I guess, about the city. It looks sick. I'm excited to explore it. It's a much bigger city than that little outpost we saw. What else? I guess. What do you guys think? What's the path forward? What's gonna happen?
Something's got to die, EliteAri. But then I was like, Mushoku Tensei, nobody dies in this silly show except for that chicken dude.
What?
Wait, you talking about the little kid that died to a snake?
Yes, that's the fella.
Jesus Christ.
Wait, there is a chicken dude though, right?
Yeah, I think he was a chicken dude.
Okay, yeah. The chicken dude did die. Give me some credit for remembering.
Yeah, you remember the most obscure details. Yeah, well done. Yeah.
Yeah, remember the dog fight, EliteAri, the greatest fight in
sure.
Mushoku Tensei history? Nobody died there either. You know, Mushoku Tensei is much like Berserk, very problematic, and nobody dies. So
except for Soros and the entirety of Eris's family and
Soros. Oh my God, they did die, bro. That was crazy.
Yeah, and so you remember one of the members in Sarah's party, and I don't know who.
That
guy. That guy. Yeah.
I think there's a bunch of deaths.
Fucking idiot.
No one important. I would dare say that Soros was a pretty important character, both in terms of the story and in terms of the world.
If Eris died, it'd be a different story.
I'm sure I could come up with a bunch more deaths. Let me think.
None of them are going to be important.
Well, yeah, you're probably not going to care about them at all.
Paul can die, EliteAri, is what I'm trying to build up to.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
I don't think.
Wait, Bacon, remember in one of these shitty episodes, we got the scene of the whole family eating together?
Exactly. I was like, dude, yeah,
so either we're building up to that being like the soy out end of credits, oh my God, we saved Zenith at the end of episode 12 of part 2 or whatever, or one of them's dead and we never got the moment. Now, Zenith can't die because we haven't got any characterization yet.
Yeah,
go ahead,
I've got this.
Oh my God,
Paul's gonna die. He's gonna return home and name his kid Paul, and then the kid sits on that place.
Genius.
There you go. I'm
Junior. Cry like oh my God, it's gonna be great. Stop laughing, EliteAri. There's nothing funny about Paul dying, bro.
No, I can't believe, dude.
They don't have
do you remember that scene? Do you remember that scene of Paul dying? I bet you do.
I can't say anything.
Remember this scene?
Because think about it, Jarkey Bacon. This idiot Paul. EliteAri has a favorable opinion of him as much as he says, Paul's a mad guy, I'm a little soy. Obviously, Paul is going to die in some big dramatic fashion after trying to get his family back together for 5 years, and they're all going to cry and be like, man, my boy Paul.
Yeah, and Paul was also, I don't think they show his face on the OP.
Wait, what, really? I'm pretty sure, I don't know why I think that.
No, they definitely try quite hard to hide his face, which means he's dead.
Okay. Very interesting.
Good idea.
Yeah. So I'm going with the Carl logic here.
Genius.
They can't kill Zenith though because she hasn't gotten any characterization basically at this point. And her and Rudy interacting is an interesting idea. Him and Paul, we already saw that it was boring and terrible and nobody cared. So, but also we already saw that.
250 people that watched that video that Ari made.
Yeah. So lame, boo. But.
Sorry, 250.
Everybody was soying out about that moment. If there was a third moment with them, then EliteAri would have put it in the video, and it would have been. But there isn't because he's dead.
Wait, the Paul Rudy video.
Yeah.
I don't think I made that to be an anime video. Don't you worry, all right? That it says nothing about Paul's future.
Look at him trying to get us off the trail, Bacon. Don't listen to him.
Yeah, true.
Now, Roxy's not dying.
I'm not going to say anything, but there may be something. In that one video I watched that I got spoiled on.
Oh my God. I also said a thing that I think was kind of like that. Me and Jarkey Bacon, we just know the spoilers, bro.
Yeah, we just know the spoilers. This is easy.
EliteAri don't even know. What if we show up one time, Bacon, and we just know all the spoilers and we just ruin his day? It would be great.
Yep. No, you know whose day you would ruin?
The whole light novel.
No, the commenters would be so sad. They'd be like, I can't believe I invested my time into this series.
Oh, I can't wait to read the comments where they go, teehee, you guys are kind of on something at an hour and 35 minutes in, which is now, Bacon. Oh my God.
Yeah, and I'm going to have to
there's no way we're an hour and 35 minutes in. We're like 2 hours in, surely.
Well, I guess
something like that.
If I say it, let me say we're 1 hour and 45 minutes in. However, I'm cutting out the silence, so you guys are probably seeing that it's much less. So, yeah.
The dwarf guy could die, Bacon. Nobody's dying.
Talahand.
Yeah, Talakan or whatever EliteAri just said.
Talahand, yeah, true.
But he's also got no real characterization until this point either, so he could stick around and we could get that later.
Right, but this is also the Mushoku Tensei anime where they do rush through stuff.
Yeah, Talahand does have characterization. All right, we get a whole thing with him and from Roxy's perspective. She spends time traveling with that party, so.
But not with Rudy. Now.
True. I mean, we haven't really got much with Rudy and Roxy either, so.
Now, don't be telling me that Geese is dying to EliteAri. That's no good.
I love Geese.
Now, we did get the letter from Geese, and then they did make a plot point about saying, well, it might not be from Paul, so maybe Geese is, like, dying. No, we're going to find his corpse, and his last thingy was to write the letter, and we'll be like, what happened? And that'll be like the part of the end of Act 1, and then we go deeper into the dungeon. I don't know, Bacon. Something funny's got to happen.
Yeah.
I'm not buying any of this dying stuff from any of the important.
Yeah.
I think we are going
to
get
What I would say is that
moment.
what I do want to happen is to watch more Mushoku Tensei.
So
true. I'm back into it now. Mm-hmm. I'm ready. I'm rumbling. There's a reason why I like it, but I feel like it's still definitely simmering lower than it could be, but not just because I'm waiting, you know. I feel like if we had the whole anime out right now, this would be amazing. But guess what? We have the whole light novel out, so maybe we should just do that instead.
My God, those future turning points, those future seasons, my goodness. They're gonna
Turning point 7's crazy, baby.
So, all right, how many more seasons? Was it going to be 5 seasons in total?
If I were to guess, I think it'd be between 4 to 5, depending on if they adapt like the extra stuff.
Okay,
yeah.
Interesting. They will adapt that, that's for sure. We're not talking about that, all right?
They didn't adapt Naruto's final chapter, so maybe they just won't do Mushoku Tensei's.
All right. Well, Mushoku Tensei, what can I say, guys? Thank you for... Wait, anything else, I guess I should say for you two, if you want to say anything?
No, I think that's it.
I'm sorry if I disappointed.
You did.
Yeah, leave a comment giving us all a score out of 10 for our performance, okay? And
Yes.
Yes, please, actually, that would be quite funny.
All right.
It's the only thing I may have not from Austin. Well, I do want a poll on actually, do people rate Kyle or not? Who's better, Bacon or Kyle? Because there's no way I win. Surely you guys like Kyle at this point.
Yeah, people, you know what, Bacon, a lot of people hate Kyle in these comment sections, all right? So
that's crazy.
Yeah. All right, well,
crazy.
Thanks everyone for listening. See you next week for the episode that is titled... Let me have a look.
Is it next week?
I don't know. I assume it's next week. I haven't heard anything about it being
You guys
played.
keep on. I'll try and...
That'll certainly be all the comments, actually.
Yeah, hopefully...
We're not going to get any hate comments or anything interesting. It's just going to be... actually, it is next week.
The episode is called... Why the hell do I have a name here? Let's skip to the end of this episode.
It was called...
okay. It's titled Into the Labyrinth is the next episode. So
no, there was no
Well, okay, that's just kind of obvious, yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Is it obvious? I guess we'll see.
Well, yeah.
Anyway, see you next time, guys. Bye.
Bye.
You think the dragon can talk?
Oh my God.